Today in the Gamers for Life podcast, we're going to talk about Dead Island 2 and maybe something else. We'll find out here. The Gamers for Life podcast. What is going on, guys? Welcome to the Gamers for Life podcast. We're each and every Friday/Saturday discussing all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, Arthur Thomas.
That's me.
Arthur Thomas.
Last few days in Cali.
Last few days here in Cali. The last podcast in California.
Yeah.
Unless you're back.
No, I'm definitely come back, but yeah, definitely last spot in Cali before I move out of state.
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad, man. I'm glad. And obviously, we got my man Church rocking the third mic today. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, man. It feels good to be back. I'm ready to get into it.
Awesome.
I bid you adieu, farewell.
Yeah,
exactly.
And the upside is being easy to please. Is like, man, like all my friends like Arthur's leaving. Whatever shall we do? Feed me. So I've been eating good this past week.
You were just talking about your friend saying you had a Korean barbecue, which I think is fantastic. Get as many as you can before you leave to Minnesota.
Yeah.
But I was just cracking me up when you were like, "No, well, give me a picture of."
Oh yeah. So
picture of beer.
Drill and Church were kind enough to take me out to Korean barbecue last weekend, and I like to drink. I like to have a beer. And so Drill kind of knew, but Church kind of learned like I could throw him back.
Mm-hmm.
And so I go through 2 pints. I go through 2 pints a little slower than water, and I'm thinking like, okay, it's Korean barbecue. We're gonna be here for X time, eat X amount of food, and me thinking how much more I can drink, and I'm just like, yeah, I'll take a picture. I'll take a picture. So I had a picture of myself last visit. So I was talking to my friend like literally today on the way here. He's like, let's get a Korean barbecue. I'll buy us a picture. And I'm like, nah. You'll buy me a picture. You'll buy me a picture.
Double it up.
It was like I was thinking of Ron Swanson from Parks and Recreation. It's like, give me all the bacon and eggs you have. Okay. No. I think you just heard me say, give me a lot of bacon and eggs. No. I asked for
all the bacon.
Yeah, all the bacon and eggs. Like, no. You may have heard buy us a picture. No. You're gonna buy me a picture. You buy me a picture,
please.
Yeah.
God damn.
So upside downside. So I'm looking. So I told these guys, well, I'm gonna take a break from drinking when I go out there, because also I want to start losing weight again. But also on a side note, man, it's getting to the point where it's getting fun. It's getting financially difficult to get drunk. I missed the 6-pack days. I missed when I first started drinking. Actually, when I left GameStop, I celebrated leaving GameStop by having my first drink. And I remember, like, I missed the days of going through a 6-pack and getting like fucking going. And now it's like those 6-pack days have come and gone.
So what are you up to? 2 6-packs at this? I mean, I guess a picture.
About 12-pack.
Yeah.
12-pack plus, depending on the percentage, how much I ate. But the last time I got like tipsy off empty stomach, I don't know, man. Like, I went through a pint of vodka of my own in like less than an hour, and I was still fine. Like
a pint of vodka?
Yeah.
What's a pint? Is that
half a fifth?
Okay, I got you.
So a fifth is like this big. Pint's half of that. So
I know what a fifth is, man. I got you.
Well, pint's half.
I mean, like, I don't know, man. This is America. What's this metric system?
Oh, yeah.
3 quarts to the heart. That's how I like
it. Real quick, we'll get on track eventually, but I was talking to Caleb and Cheyenne, and like, man, America never uses the metric system. Like, we use the metric system for what's important. Bullets and drugs. Right. I know the side that's like, if you show me the distance of a 9mm, I have no fucking deal with 9mm. But I know what a 9mm bullet looks like. I know fucking milligrams when I see it. So it's like, look, it's like, okay, rest of the world and your fucking Queen's English and metric system. We use it where it counts. Bullets and drugs. America.
West Side.
Both very prominent in Long Beach.
Yeah. So if you're watching this for the first time, hello. Be sure to like, subscribe here on the YouTube channel. Definitely would appreciate that. Just click subscribe, click the notification bell and whatnot. And then we have great audio episodes as well. We have about, what was this, the 83rd episode? We have over 80 episodes, so be sure to check that out on your podcast application of your choice. Arthur is streaming on Twitch again.
Yeah, I went back.
Yeah, so if you're going to YouTube and you're wondering where the live videos are, they are not coming.
It's because I had too many technical problems that were had too many variables. Like the frame rate was never consistent. The quality of the video was never consistent. And there's just too many variables. I'm like, is it my Elgato? Is it my cable? Is it my computer? Streamlabs was shit the bed a lot. So there were just too many variables. I'm like, there were just too many inconsistent issues that I just didn't know how to fix. And two issues that never stopped the second I switched to YouTube was when I went live. If you actually did like me, I just to make sure it worked, I get my own notification that I went live on my phone. Yeah, for some reason within 6 minutes of watching the live video on YouTube, it kicks you off as if the video ended. That has been there since day one. I don't know how to fix it, and we've relinked the account twice. Yeah, a lot of troubleshoots when you stream from one program to the other, like Streamlabs to YouTube or Streamlabs to Twitch. They say log out, log back in, and relink your accounts. Yeah, it still doesn't do that. I can go live right now, poof. You can watch me live on YouTube. I'm just starting out. Hey guys, blah, blah, blah. And 6 seconds in, and poof, all of a sudden your autoplay kicks in and starts playing another video. Something else that would happen on YouTube is the upload volume. I would stream, I'll do the audio check to myself and be like, okay, my volume is X high. But yeah, when the video automatically uploads, poof, the volume would just drop. Oh, weird. And so now, the reason I'm doing Twitch is because Xbox has the new Xbox made it easy to streamline through Twitch. Okay. You can just link your Xbox account to a Twitch account, and through the Xbox, the same way you would take a screenshot or record a little video, you can just hit a button and poof, you're live on Twitch.
Okay, that's awesome.
And so for me, the less things involved means less variables making mistakes. Now it's just Xbox to Twitch. No extra cables, no hey, is my Elgato working? Is Streamlabs working? Just nope. Just
all the audio from you and your friends you're playing online record as well.
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So you get the game, and there's no extra mic too, because as people know, that stream you need 2 mics. You need one mic to talk to the Xbox party, to talk to your friends in game, and you need another mic to talk to the stream. Yeah. Well, again with Xbox, it's all streamlined. Just the one gaming headset records everything, and then records the game. Everything fine. Yeah, just click,
simple.
Click a button. Click a button. So so that's why I'm back on Twitch. It's just easier.
Nice.
So on the topic of streaming games, just random question real quick, because I come from the PlayStation ecosystem, and we have this thing called Shell Play. Does Xbox have a Shell Play?
Yes, it's linked with Twitter.
What?
So okay, so
it's linked with Twitter.
So Sony Share Play. So both consoles have that. But different consoles have different contracts with different social media people. So with Sony, you can take your share thing and load it to Facebook and Instagram via Meta. So if you record something, if you record a game capture on your Sony PlayStation on your PlayStation,
okay, but that's not what I'm talking about. So it's basically my lady, she started playing The Last of Us too, right? So she's like, "Oh, you want to watch me play?" And I was like, "Yeah." So she just sent me a notification on PlayStation, and I could just immediately watch what she's doing.
Xbox, Xbox used to have that.
So what happened to that?
It died. Remember that Microsoft exclusive streaming service? It was Blue
Mixer.
Mixer. It died. So it was Mixer. So the answer to your question is Xbox used to have it. To answer specifically what you mean is a friends could just watch you play. No extra streaming service, just through the
a party in chat,
just through the console. Exactly. So you for example, you as an Xbox player can watch your friend playing Xbox without Twitch, with all this other stuff, just through the Xbox. That was what Mixer was.
And they got rid of that.
Maybe because they have a deal now with Discord, so maybe Discord will revive that.
Discord may bring it back, but again, so to answer your question, Xbox had it via Mixer, it died.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
thanks, man.
yeah.
I used to use it. In fact, when Victor moved to Japan, that's how we would talk or chat a lot, because I was playing Phantom Pain, and you want to see what Phantom Pain looked like. And I'm sure to other people, Phantom Pain was a great Metal Gear Solid movie. Metal Gear Solid game. To me, Phantom Pain was just I was just a zookeeper.
Yeah,
a horse, a wolf.
That was the beauty of the game, though. A lot of people just fucking was playing Noah's Ark, and it's like,
on
that balloon feature.
Because on Mother Base you had a zoo. You literally had a zoo.
Yeah,
I filled that shit. I filled the fuck out. I filled the fuck out my zoo. It's like, oh, but the communists and nukes. I got a wolf. Suck it.
Yo, yeah. I gotta get this animal right here.
Ahead of its time. I really think so.
I would have to agree. So, so just really quick, again, if you want to check out Arthur's streams on Twitch, go to Gamers for Life Pod on Twitch. Be sure to follow him, of course, because it means you follow Gamers for Life. And here at the Gamers for Life podcast, we read the news. Well, you can watch or listen to what you choose by clicking on the links, the time code within the description of the episode, so you can check out the specific segments on the show that you care about, or you can just hang out with us here at the Gamers for Life podcast, because there's going to be one main topic on the show, and it's the title of the episode, and Arthur was all about it and let me know from once he found this out, and this is a video that /game that we've been talking about that we thought was never going to come out. But
they literally
they rickrolled us, never gonna give you up.
Its situation was a joke in the industry.
Yes, and what I'm talking about is Dead Island 2 from, I want to say, Gamescom. They put that video out, and it's fucking real. February 3rd, 2023, baby.
Dead Island's real. I am losing my shit over this. So or
is yours, Arthur?
So okay,
go ahead.
So Dead Island as a game, I loved. Fun fact of how much Dead Island means to me. Like Dead Island is the reason I got a gaming headset. And to the point where Dead Island is, so as a game, to my knowledge, at least recent experience, Dead Island is the only open world zombie RPG I can think of. Not 7 Days to Die, not all these other games, not this new MMO where it's like about survival. Like you're dying, survive. No, this is an RPG with classes, with levels, with skills, with loot. And there's a story. And so to me, like I said off the top of my head, like Dead Island is really the only true open world zombie RPG. Like again, there's like DayZ. Like no, that's an open server survival base building game. There's a 1,000,001 zombie survival base building games. But at the time, for me, Dead Island was really different because I just come off the cusp of like finishing Fallout or another RPG. I think Kingdoms Amalur. Yeah. So I was on the cusp of just playing an RPG, and then I played Dead Island, and all of a sudden, like I said, it's a zombie RPG. It's cooperative, and the crazy thing is the world is live. What that means is like if there's a screamer zombie over there, you're gonna fucking hear it until you kill it. So if you have a headset, it just freaks you out all the time. You just constantly hear shit. I know in fact two people. One of which is Victor that I'm playing with now that did not finish playing the game because it was so creepy. It was freaky. And and so if you have a game, it's like, so for me that was my introduction to getting a game headset. And so speaking of moving and family, shout out to my sister. She got that game as a gift.
Oh, nice.
And so I got into Dead Island because my sister got it as a birthday present. So thanks for that. And then I immediately, after playing the game, I was like, man, let me get a gaming headset. And I got, at the time, that old, reliable but super effective, like $20, $25 cheap Xbox gaming headset that worked perfectly. In fact,
classic headset.
In fact, of all my bad luck with electronics, that headset lasts me the longest. The cheapest headset I ever bought lasts me the longest.
That's surprising because you have bad luck when it comes to headsets, man.
Dude, I mean, but that cheap little headset lasts me the longest. And so I played Dead Island, and then Dead Island 2 comes out, Dead Island Riptide comes out, and then again we talk about Mass Effect. How Mass Effect is one of the few games where you can carry your story throughout the sequel. Dead Island up that to the point where your exact XP to the single number transfers to the next game. If you're level 36 when the game finished and this is your skill tree,
that was pretty dope.
Boom, you immediately kick off exactly where you left off. You're level 36, here's your skill tree, boom, that's where you're at. So like I said, downside, it's time you couldn't really respect, but I don't really care because I liked my character. And so it was really cool to play Dead Island 1 with my friend Kyrie, and then jump into Dead Island Riptide again, played cooperative with Kyrie again, and we were like back in it. We were like exactly where we kicked off. And there was so many quality of life and improvements to Riptide. So I finished Riptide, I'm excited for it, and then this trailer comes out. E3 2014. It's this I'm a bomb, I'm about to blow up. He's running down Venice Beach. So the virus has come to America. So in Dead Island, you're like in a fake Vietnam. Yeah. It comes to America, and then the trailer ends with Jack Black. The trailer that if you rewatch the trailer ends. So the guy slowly turns into a zombie.
Yeah.
With almost like a face-facing GoPro, like camera shake thing, and then the zombie of the trailer is killed by Jack Black voice actor. So I'm like super hyped. And then poof, Techland and Deep Silver split off.
Right.
Techland goes and makes Dying Light and does their thing. And we're like, what the fuck's happened to Dead Island? And it's been like that for 8 years. 8 years. It's been it was such a joke in industry. Goat Simulator 3's debut trailer fucking parried it.
Right.
Yeah, it did happen.
Right.
So it's been a joke in the industry.
That's dumb too.
And to the point where, because people remember what happened in Dead Island when Dying Light 2 was in production hell or silence, and people were bombarding their social media team with what's happening with Dying Light. Is Dying Light 2 going to be Dead Island 2? And then Dying Light 2's social media team was just trolling people of like, hey, what's happening to the game? Is this still going to exist? Toad. So Church, I'm not sure you're aware, but when people would ask people would go to the social media team of Dying Light 2's Insta or Twitter or whatever.
Yeah.
They would, no context, just reply a picture of a toad. Just toad. Like, so is this game dead? What's happening? Toad. So is this game going to exist? Is what's going on? I love the first one. I can't wait to play the second one. Toad. So I lost my shit when Dead Island 2 got announced. I was like talking to my roommate, made the conversation. I stopped, whatever. I was like, oh, it's real. It's finally happening. And then sure, it's like we're talking before the recording. Even you haven't watched it yet, but you noticed it. It wasn't just a trailer. We have gameplay. Yeah, we have gameplay, people. Gameplay. This is real. Like, we have gameplay. Yeah. I lost my shit over this. So it comes out February 3rd. There you go, February 3rd. And so other than me fanboying over it, I did want to talk about, there's a lot of new things coming to Dead Island. One of which is a feature I hope we see everywhere.
Well, you gotta let me know. Can you carry your save over? You picked up that feature. Is that happening finally?
True question. Yeah.
So okay. So on that note, okay. So I took notes of like what I liked about it, but the main notes I wanted to take is all new things. So the first new thing, following the reveal announcement, there was an interview between some of the devs and IGN. The phrase was, as of 2018, this is a clean slate project.
Okay.
That is good news.
Ground up, yeah.
That is good. Ground up, clean slate project. And for me, that is good news because Drell, you and I have talked about it. As much as I fanboy over Dead Island, I will stick to my guns and say, hey, if a game's been in production for 9 years, that is no longer a good thing.
Yeah.
So when I heard clean slate since 2018, good news to me. So to answer your question of the save file, no. It's a clean slate. And another reason is one of the other new things Dead Island and the original Dead Island had 4 playable characters with 4-person co-op. Dead Island Riptide had 5 playable characters with 5-player cooperative. 2 things, good and bad. New game, 6 playable characters.
Interesting.
Downside, they're doing something a lot of games are doing. I don't fucking like it. 3-player cooperative. 3-player cooperative. Like, just make a game 4-player cooperative. Dude. And if only 3 people play it, only 3 people fucking play it.
Wait, so how's it 6? I guess I'm confused.
No, there's 6 playable characters to choose from.
Oh, and 3-player co-op.
They're only 3-player online cooperative. I don't know. Why is it a thing? It limits fun. Don't limit fun.
It could be restrictions with technology. Maybe 4 is too much like chaos on the screen.
Freaks out the system.
Yeah.
We had 5 playable characters in the last game 9 years ago.
Yeah, but they didn't have like as many particle effects, as lightning.
Technology.
Yeah.
As a fanboy of this, that's no. I'm not. No.
I mean, I'm not saying to be happy about it, but like there could be a development reasoning. Devil's advocate,
Sure, we gotta get a developer on the show.
But bring back 4-player co-op. I feel you.
Because again, if just have 4 players and only 3 people join, only 3 people fucking join.
Yeah.
So there's another thing. So I mentioned this on an RPG element. There's experience, there's classes, there's skill trees, and this game that's different. I'm nervous about this because I've only seen this implemented in one case. I didn't like it. The new thing is it's a card deck system. Your skills are based on a card deck system. The reason why I'm nervous about that,
I love
cards. Yu-Gi-Oh.
Okay. Jarrell, I totally forgot Back 4 Blood existed until you said that. Because I was gonna say I forgot the game fucking existed. My only other experience with an open world RPG and a card deck system is the fucking dumpster fire Fallout 76.
Oh.
And that left a bad taste in my mouth for a card deck system. And I guess you could say it still hasn't gone. A card deck system still isn't good yet, because apparently my second case example of a card deck system, I totally forgot I fucking played. Yeah. So it's a card deck system, which makes me nervous because I've yet again on an RPG level, I've yet to see it implemented well. The upside though, they did make it clear you can respec as many times as you want. Now, they didn't say if you have to use in-game money, whatever, but even still, I do like the option of constantly respecking.
Yeah.
That's one thing I liked about Borderlands 2. And I would say Borderlands 3, but I never respect.
No.
Borderlands 2, I respect all the time. So again, I'm nervous about the card deck system, but they made it clear that respecking is a thing. Something else I've noticed, this is my theory, and kind of almost confirmed based on the developers, unlike from what we, I guess you could say, truly saw from the original trailer, and the old original logo, this is going to be LA only. Now you're just saying, oh, but the original trailer was in Venice. Yes, but if you watch a trailer, when it ends, the logo of that game, the A was the Golden Gate Bridge.
Yeah. Okay.
So when the 2014 trailer ends, it shows the logo deadline in 2 coming soon, whatever. The A is the Golden Gate Bridge. So now this time it looks like to be LA based only. That's not a thing for me. That's just something That's just something I noticed. I caught. I've yet to see someone else talk about it. I noticed it.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care if I'm calling first.
Okay.
I'm just saying, hey, the Golden Gate's gone, but the developers only mentioned, like, in their interview was like LA, Santa Monica, Venice, Hollywood, stuff like that. Again, not a bad thing. Just it's in my category of new. Okay. One thing they also mentioned is that they've hinted that the player is infected, and that you get powers based off that.
Oh,
so they stole it from Dying Light 2. Okay, I see. That's what's happening. Okay, a little rivalry between old companies. Like that's like the whole print.
I absolutely believe there's a rivalry, because there's like a half nod fucking nudge at Dying Light 2. During this interview, they said during an interview, it was there was like a nod that, like, oh, we don't want to do something we've seen a million times. The humans aren't the bad guys, just the zombies. And that was the whole big fucking deal with Dying Light 2. Who's the real enemy? It's not zombies. It's humans. For me, I think the way they word it, I don't have the exact quote. I thought I took the exact quote. I don't. But when I watched the interview, that was absolutely a nudge at Dying Light 2. So who are the bad guys? Or when you see like other factions of people, they're like, no, humans aren't the bad guys. You've seen that too many times. Even though people keep doing it. Again, it's like AKA the last 7 seasons of The Walking Dead. People are truly the enemy? No way. Oh my god. But yeah, so they made it very clear it's humans versus zombies. It's a human versus zombies game. Also, if you watch the gameplay, it's very gory. Now, Deadline was kind of gory. You could cut off flames, but it wasn't polished. Like the frame rates, there was like, I don't know if it was a frame rate issue, but again, it wasn't polished. It was kind of a game of its time, with something we've seen since. So something they announced is that the game has like quote unquote procedural gore. So like to the point where something I like elemental wise, there's like a propane oil streak on the ground, and you can light it if you have a flame weapon. So because that I want to say like Fallout, but that's the only thing that comes to mind is there's a lot of modding in the game. You can say like Dying Light, but they used to be siblings. Now they broke up. One left. No longer. They don't. But yeah. But so there's always modding. There's electric weapons. There's poison, stuff like that. So, but the gore in this game is going to be procedurally generated, and that's another thing with weapons. They look like the mods are still there.
What does that even mean for gore? Like, is the blood like in terms of like environmental blood splatter?
The way you can like so.
Is it gonna look corny? Like if I hit somebody's right side of the face, I want it to reflect.
You can punch.
You can
punch through their face, like a fist through the hole. You make a hole in their face.
Okay. So
So like if you cut, so like they're showing if you cut this way, they're gonna cut that way.
Okay.
If a zombie's clothed and you set them on fire, their clothes melt off.
Understood. Okay.
Now something else I want to talk about. So one last thing before I finish that real quick is I believe it's gonna be open world, but they never officially said they never officially said the phrase open world. They said like live. They said large live maps. Like the word large was said. Like so, what I mean by live is like, if the game generated a zombie over there and it's screaming. You're gonna fucking hear it until you deal with it. So again, it's not the biggest concern for me. It'll be a big step backwards if the trailer they showed to us, again, multiple areas, Venice, Hollywood, all the LA staples, that's not open world. That'll be a huge step back for them. Not only for the fact that they showed us the giant map, or sorry, they didn't show us the map. They showed multiple areas.
Yeah.
And the fact that Island is known for being open world.
Right.
And so other than fanboyness, one thing I want to talk about is something I saw when the trailer ended. I even pointed out to my roommate. I was like, what the fuck is that? That's a new logo. What I mean by new logo is, like, for example, years ago, we all started seeing the xCloud logo for the first time.
Yeah.
Now now we're seeing it more and more and more. There's a new thing. That it was called. There's a new thing. It's like Xbox Series X. Oh, and Jarrell, one thing is, I know you want to talk about it, but the game is coming out for PS4, PS5, current gen and next gen.
Oh, that's bad news.
It is bad news. And also there's a new logo I've never fucking seen before, but it's a big feature in this game. I want to see more and more of it. Amazon's doing good with gaming. I never thought I'd say that. There's something called Amazon Game Control. And Amazon Game Control is, in short, is what Cortana was supposed to be. Not the game. I mean, the feature on a Microsoft device, there's Cortana. Hey, Cortana, turn off my Xbox. Hey, Cortana, play this game. You can do this in the game. You can, there's verbal commands in the game. So what we know so far is you can verbally swap weapons. You can verbally get someone's attention. So, like, in other RPGs, you throw a rock, you whistle, you throw a bottle. Like in Last of Us, you throw a bottle. But in this game, there's a verbal command of, like, hey, zombie, hey, you, blah. So there's the verbal elements to it. And also navigation, which I think is amazing. Because, to a point, there's smart cars. Like nowadays, there are smart cars. Navigate to close to 7-Eleven. It's 2 a.m. I want snacks, whatever. And navigate to. That element is going to be in the game. You can navigate. Closest workbench. And so the classic way of opening your map, pinpointing a waypoint, and then your little HUD, your mini map, dotting the way, you can do that verbally now. And the crazy thing is like, so I know Dead Island I know a lot of people may skip Dead Island. I hope they don't, because a lot of people didn't play the originals or it's been too long. But again, in terms of new features that could potentially advance, I want to say the industry, but like new with graphics, I would say no longer exponentially increasing. Like they are rising, but no longer at the rate we saw in the past like 5-10 years. Now it's like these features that kind of separate different games. And so I think it's amazing. I think it's awesome. Like I said, that the way this new Amazon Game Control is being implemented, going to be implemented in this game. And I want to see it more and more. And that's the thing you want to hear from me. Like, hey, Amazon's doing good. I want more of this. And something, Joel, that you and I talked about early into Amazon getting gaming. Yeah. This is the stuff we wanted. Like we were saying, Amazon shouldn't be a developer. They should be a publisher. Right. And
we've said this before. Yeah. Exactly.
And so now even further beyond the potential public, like them being a publisher, them using, the new, that's almost like a common feature in smart cars. You just talk to your fucking car. Cortana, they tried to do something similar, but they really never quite finessed it or focused on it long enough. Cortana became the Xbox version of the fucking paperclip. Because I remember Xbox One, year one, you got a million fucking reminders. Hey, Seb Cortana.
Right.
Hey, you want to talk to Cortana? No. I just want to play my fucking fuck off. But again, with this new Amazon Game Control, you can swap. The features we know, we confirm now. You can swap weapons. You can kind of talk to the zombies. Almost, it reminded me of. Remember in GTA 5, you can, when you're robbing the convenience stores, you can scream into your mic to make them get the money faster. So it kind of reminded me of that. But again, they're like polishing it, they're finessing it. I think that navigation. That navigation aspect is really fucking cool.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
So the collector's editions for Deadline have been announced. There are pre-order bonuses. There are DLC. Again, I am just super fucking hyped for this game. There's some things I'm nervous about, like the card deck system. There's things I'm bummed about, like the 3-player cooperative thing. But I think, good or bad, I think long term, I hope Amazon sticks with this and we see more of this potential game control. Now, the thing I'm thinking, because we mentioned cooperative. I play cooperative a lot. So how will the mic system incorporate the cooperative versus talk element? Like, because they say you can aggro a zombie. So every time I tell church, hey, I'm going to the left, or hey, I got to take a piss, is a zombie going to hear me saying I got to take a piss? Or is there going to be a toggle system? Can you turn it off? Can you turn it on? is it all or nothing. Like, hey, I want to still be able to say, hey, nearest workbench. That was the example they used. But I don't want to have the zombie aggro me every time I fucking, said anything.
Right. Yeah, that would be annoying.
So at least for me, kind of talking about what they showed. Again, we got a gameplay trailer. Other things they were shown is, from we know, at least some of the old characters are there. Sam B, who I think should have a Grammy or two alone for
Voodoo
bitch. It's just a classic fucking song. The Zombie Army, you can't harm me, Voodoo bitch. I fucking love that song, man. And then another character that was in the original game. In fact, the character Victor is playing as right now, Xian. She was the ex-cop. No, she was a security guard, bladed weapons. So they've hinted that there are still specialties. When we see Sambi in the game, Sambi was the blunt weapon guy. So we see him sledgehammering in the door. And so I think that there are going to be the characters and specializations like this is the gun person that I was. Or like that's the throwing person. That's this. And I can't wait for the second game. Beyond the fact that there's all these intriguing moments as a fanboy, I lost my shit. That I can say I was with Drell watching E3 Live 2014, getting drunk at his house. When we saw the Venice Beach trailer, we saw Jack Black was going to be in Dead Island. That was 8 years ago. It's happening. It's real. Like, I still can't believe we got gameplay. I cannot believe we got gameplay. We got fucking gameplay. I'm losing my shit.
They didn't say what console that gameplay was on, did they?
Oh, the one it was recorded on?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Like the footage recorded on?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. But we got gameplay nonetheless.
Yeah, so we got gameplay nonetheless. I know that was a lot, but again, I cannot wait. That was like, thanks, Jeff Keighley. You gave me a going rate present. I'm happy for it.
Yeah, I mean, it's. I guess there's a couple of things I was going to mention. One of them is this interesting seeing the lineage of Dead Island, just the series in general, right? Because originally I just remember that trailer that was super and it's funny now,
cinematic and like story.
Yeah,
story
and
driven.
I feel like that was the tech land probably ideas, just because you're like, this is way too
serious.
Cinematic and dope, and I could see this being in a trailer, because there's even an award for trailers, the best trailers. I was like, this is a really good fucking trailer, and the game is nothing like that.
That every now and again I'll be on YouTube and there's Watch Mojo top 10 misleading trailers.
Yeah,
the movie Drive shows up because it got sued. That that trailer shows up a lot. The cinematic trailer of this dad trying to save his daughter from the zombie, but it's all played in reverse. The funny thing is also, I can say, even with movies, I try to avoid trailers. I never saw the trailer before I played the game. I only knew that Dead Island was a zombie game.
Yeah.
And then a week later, my sister bought it for me. That's it.
Oh, nice.
So I never saw that cinematic trailer that apparently at launch, a lot of people on Metacritic almost review bombed it because they're like, this isn't the game I fucking bought. They thought they're going to get a story-driven, narrative-based zombie game, and we got an open world RPG where every time the voice acting, at least for the repeatable quest to turn shit in, it's memorable in all the wrong reasons. Oh, thank God. Oh, because if you collect 20 canned food, you are fucked. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Oh, thank God. Canned food is all we have here. Canned food is all we have here. Canned food is all you're fucked, dude.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Oh, and does that every time someone turns it in.
Oh my!
So if you looted 10 things, I looted 10 things, you looted 10 things, buckle up, man. You're fucking in it, man.
Yeah.
You're in for a lot of thank God. All the time now, Victor and I we're playing the second game. We still fucking every time we turn shit in, we still joke at the first game. Canned food is all we have here. Oh, thank God. Ooh, champagne. Ooh, you get stuck in your fucking brain. It gets stuck in your brain, dude. Because I said, I'll turn my shit in and the Victor turns my shit in. Thank God there's only 2 of us. If all 4 of us are playing, I would no.
I think the only point, my main level of concern, and Church kind of said this a little bit as you were talking, is the platform. How many platforms it's going to be on?
Yeah.
Because we all know historically, there's been time and time again, there's been some big games that have suffered various other platforms in making them, i.e. Cyberpunk 2077, and kind of basically lying, saying that the game was done when in fact it was not. But there's some interesting signs on this where they said because originally we didn't hear anything about a release date, right? We heard a lot of rumors, a lot of like maybe so's, but nothing official from Deep Silver themselves. But then hearing, February 3rd, it's coming out. Mm-hmm. So that is, to me, it's like that is maybe a little more reassuring because that shows me, okay, the game is probably 80% done, if that. You know what I mean? And if it's being made for all of these fucking platforms, they must be almost done with all those platforms being made. Because, I mean, that's, what is that, 6 months from now? What's is going to burn through super quick? You know what I mean? So they must be incredibly on track for them to release this trailer.
I mean, that's positive thinking.
That's very profitable. Nice. You're fucking wrong.
I mean, I just don't know. I just think with the games today, like, how much time are you going back for like a PS4 and Xbox One,
right?
In terms of like powerhousing that.
I don't know why they even made it for those consoles. Games. You know?
It's a user system. It's a third party. They're trying to recoup some costs, probably.
Yeah.
But Arthur, like, I didn't know you were this big fan of Dead Island at all. I know now.
Know, dude.
You're crazy about it.
It's great.
I know. I'm happy for you because 8 years is a long time, and I feel that pain because I am a Kingdom Hearts fan. So for between 2 and 3, I was there in the wait. So I'm happy that you finally get in the game. But my personal opinion when it comes to Dead Island, I mean, I just don't care about zombie games anymore. Sure. I feel like it's a generic enemy type that we always have. Same thing with the television show. I didn't watch the gameplay because when they did the reveal on the Gamescom, they showed like the cinematic trailer. And I was like, okay, this long, no gameplay. I turned it off. I was like, this is the last thing. Like, they're not going to show anything. But I missed out. You should always stay after the credits, I guess is the takeaway from that. I did try Dying Light 2. And so when I guess I pieced it together, like Dead Island was the first game and they splintered and made Dying Light. Because when I played Dying Light 2, they had the song Voodoo Me Bitch or something that you were referencing. The Easter egg.
Samby's gold record is an Easter egg in the game.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it was cool. So I've had that kind of RPG zombie experience before. And I don't like that Dying Light 2. I just don't. I feel like it's not as smooth. I mean, I don't think it's a bad game. Graphically, it's just a lot going on. It's a lot of noise. Man, this is a Game Pass game to me. This is like a rent. I don't know if I have to see more to invest into the game.
That's fair.
But like, it's just, I don't know if it's good or bad. I feel like it's gonna make you nostalgic. I'm worried for you, man, because like you're gonna move to like.
You sound like old Arthur.
No. I was like, because you moving out of California, and then like in 6 months you're about to play a game that's all set in Los Angeles. You'll be like, man, I remember Venice. Like I remember the beach. Like I'm having such a good time. It's like I know you used to live here. I thought you're gonna be sad.
I won't get that nostalgic. If anything, I'll call it out. I'll have memories like, oh, that's where the homeless guy offered me crack. That's where the guy was shooting shit. Oh, that's where that guy took a shit. I remember that tree. I saw 2 homeless guys fucking over there.
Right. But that's like, those are the memories, man. Life happened, in La La Land. I
still remember the last time I was at the Lighthouse in Long Beach. There were 2 guys just jacking off.
I mean, no. I've not been to that part of Long Beach.
Oh, dude, that's supposed to be the nice. That's supposed to be the nice area. That's supposed to be the nice area aboard the. Where is it? The marina. That's shows the shoreline. That's where the Grand Prix takes place, man.
Oh, okay, so they have a little bit more class.
Shoreline's bad.
But I'll say real quick. Like comparing to that, it was. It reminds me of like one of the guys from Achievement Hunter and Rooster Teeth. Went to go see a movie that takes place in Puerto Rico.
Okay.
And the way he tells the story is in the middle of the movie, he's like, wait, that's not it. Where's all the trash? They have power. There's no power there. They're running water. This is fucking bullshit. So I feel like that might be my take. That might be take a narrative. Like, you know what I mean? Like where are the needles? There should be used needles everywhere.
Right. Like if there's never mind. I was gonna say something inappropriate.
I mean, it's the last episode. He's in California.
Yeah, man. I was just saying, if there's like not a huge zombie homeless population in the game, like then it wouldn't be LA at that point. Dude. Like it just like because Venice it's gotten worse over the years. But it always has character, right? At the end of the day.
True.
Character is a very polite way of putting it.
I was gonna say too, this Alexa game control that you mentioned.
Yeah.
If it's cool on Dead Island 2, I'm really curious to see how it would be for like Starfield. I would love to use it for Starfield.
Like a ship. Are you guys really excited by that voice activation in game?
Well, two things real quick. Number one, you mentioned Alexa. Real quick, number one, if people's curious, you don't need an Amazon. You don't think you have to link your Amazon account to a game. You don't.
Okay.
So just real quick on that.
Okay.
And then two, I like it because it's like something new, and like I said, it's like because like that's my thing is now like I feel like with electronics or like let's say graphics in general.
Sure.
They shoot up, then they plateau. They shoot up, we're a plateau. We're at a plateau level. We've been shot up. We've been shot up because Unreal Engine 5, so we're gonna plateau for a little bit. So for me, during a potential plateau of like graphics, it's like for me like it's like what features come from this. Like again, during the last arguably say during the last like plateau, that's when we started like seeing save files transfer. We have all these new elements come from that to separate themselves. So for me, I'm not like this isn't like make or break for me, but I'm excited to see the potential of this because that's what I'm thinking. It's like we saw the beta of this, which was Cortana. And technically you can say the beta of Cortana was clippy.
That's what makes me worried about it because it comes off as gimmicky, right? It's like I'm trying to play the game. I'm not trying to talk to it, like I'm not trying to get its number. Like, hey, like
what you doing after this?
Alexa, so I'm trying. For me, it's not a feature that I'm looking for. But that's because like in my soul, like as a gamer soul, I'm more of like a Nintendo kind of guy that's like gameplay focus. True. Where like it kind of trumps all. So I understand that graphic fidelity can like plateau, but like I don't know. I have to see it in action because I've had like the PlayStation Eye back in the day where you were like moving and you can kind of talk to it a little bit. The Kinect, So
the reason,
what else we had? Like we've had the PS5 now, like blowing into the mic.
A lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit.
Nintendo did that too. I remember that Nintendo DS, you had to like blow into your mic. But so for me, I think it can be gimmicky, but I think how it's executed. Like for me, when everyone was losing their mind about Alexa Home, of like you can tell a robot to turn off your lights. That sounded super fucking gimmicky to me. Like I know people love talking to their Alexa and Google to turn off their fucking light switch.
I use it as an alarm clock.
More
than anything.
So like,
or a timer.
So for me, a lot of people thought it was gimmicky, but like here we are now, years later, and like these gimmicks kind of they almost like just through time and just almost like getting used to it, they kind of grow past that gimmick phase because like that's what that's for me. Like when people hey, like for me, if you're trying to sell, like for example, like day one, you're trying to sell me a Google Home, an Alexa Home, an Apple whatever fucking version, and you're like the biggest benefit is it saves my fat ass walking 3 feet to the light switch. I'm like that I don't care.
So did they show how this feature is implemented?
No, it wasn't shown. Only the interview.
Okay, so for me personally, when it comes to controllers or gameplay elements, I like things that immerse me in the experience. So the only way in my mind to imagine this is if Dead Island 2
has like a robot you're talking to.
No, it just has like a cell phone, and you instead of Alexis, you call it like I don't know, Velma or something.
If Alexa survived the apocalypse.
Yeah, and you can like or something, right? Like to use like the algorithm because like if I'm talking to my cell phone in the game, then like okay, that makes sense. Like hey, do me this, do me that, or answering like NPC's phone calls. It brings me into it. How
immersive this game? MILFs in my area. Yeah, no, you don't.
I bet that would be a pathway, right?
It's
like you discover the golden path.
You're in terms of immersion, you're definitely correct. I think of like what we've seen so far about this. As a guy that's just again, I play a lot of RPGs.
Okay.
So selfishly speaking, and again, it sounds lazy, but I would argue, not coming from a fat ass, I would argue not walking to your light switch is a fat ass move. But but I think pressing select.
That's a baller move.
Pressing I would like if I don't, especially with these fucking gigantic, especially with these giant open world RPG maps.
Yeah.
Pressing select, going where you need to go, forgetting where it is. Fuck, where did it go? Bam. Versus like, hey, I want to go to this village. Boop.
Yeah.
Like that's one thing I like.
It would be really that type of feature like in an RTS or like a civilization type of game. Yeah, where you like commanding armies or something, like from a strategy point. I could see like move like, this unit over here to like scroll. Like I think that would be really cool where you can just walk through the strategy. That'd be cool. I gotta put a pin into it. I gotta see how when Dead Island 2 comes out or maybe a gameplay trailer. Yeah. I'm sure at the Video Games Award it's gonna like show it off a little bit more.
I think speaking of, and we'll try some a little more into that, but really on to your like hypothetical, I can totally see Jeff Keighley talking to this feature up.
Oh, you think so? He's like, you gotta buy this Mountain Dew.
Do you remember like, because like for me like, real quick we'll go to more, but like I do respect Jeff Keighley what he's done with Gamescom.
I love him, man. Yeah, he's great.
But like, but he can be gimmicky. Like remember the last video game awards? He's like, whoa, look at these lasers! I'm trapped, guys. What are you fucking doing?
Oh man, he's having a good time, man. Like he will always have respect for me because like he's one of the few people that can, that pushes the industry, try to make it bigger than what I thought it was. And does he hit? Is it A's across the board? No, like not all.
He gets on base.
Yeah,
but hey, we just all see Moneyball. He gets on base.
He gets on base.
He's done. I agree with you, Church. He's done a lot for the gaming industry. He's one of the first. He's one of the early pioneering video game journalists. Yeah. I mean, he's been doing this for over 30 years. He started the Game Awards. That's his thing.
It's his baby.
Game Awards is his thing.
In terms of baby, that's it, dude. That's like going to bed. It's like who's your son? Bill Gates. I mean, and as we transition more into the Gamescom, but it sounds like we were doing that now, but honestly, like this Gamescom, man, fucking brought it. There was so many new announcements. This was a perfect balance of reveal trailers and gameplay trailers. Like,
oh, okay.
Like there was like for like some of your standouts.
What? Atomic Heart. Other than so again, so I will say real quick. So with your thing about the Alexa control,
sure,
I agree with you, and that's what I want. But again, but somebody has to make those scary first steps. Like to get it, like it has to get there. We have to watch it. We have to watch it walk and stumble before it can run. And I totally agree that the potential, like an RTS, like I said, civilization, that's perfect. Like, and in terms of immersion, you're just talking to your army. You're just talking to your army. Go over there, attack that, sneak there, stop fucking dying. But so that's why I'm like so again, Dead Island as a game a whole aside. Again, with this Alexa thing, I want to see it grow because I feel like again we've gone from Clippy to Cortana to this Alexa thing. And again, that's sounds all surprising. I'm praising Amazon's name with games, which I never fucking do. I mean, hey man, if they're spending $500 million a year on something, this is a good thing to spend on.
Dude, if it works, it's great. I could see the PlayStation 5 controller really having like it really well implemented because it has a speaker.
Has a speaker?
Yeah, as opposed to having the headset, so like anybody on that system can like just immediately get into it.
And speaking of immersion, you get this into VR. Dude.
I mean, I think it's
a good point.
I think it's a smart idea using like Amazon's like technology for voice recognition instead of creating something of their own.
Right.
Right. This is
very smart.
Like kind of mentioned with the thing, like this was what we thought the potential Amazon getting involved in games. We didn't think they're gonna make a fucking game. Their first game.
They are making a game. They did it.
No, but
they had a whole showcase this year, brother.
No, but I'm saying it's a long road. What about that game they canceled before it even dropped? I'm saying they have a long road. Hey man, you're talking about the pit stop now. I'm talking about the road they just fucking canceled. You're talking about the car they pulled up now. I'm talking about the Pinto they owned 5 years ago.
Everybody likes the new whip. Ago. Yeah,
yeah, like, hey, that's cool, but hey, where'd that fucking Miata go? But so again, they did a lot of issues. So Amazon's come a long way in terms of gaming from like making a full game and canceling it like 2 days, like either within or like after launch. And then they had that.
You're talking about the battle royale?
Yeah. They had that battle royale market that's already saturated. Yeah.
I think a New World was doing all right for a little bit.
But here's the thing: a lot of people, but here it was doing good. But remember, there was also another MMO they released before New World. Do you remember what it was called?
I mean, I'm not into the MMO scene, but I take it didn't do well.
I forget the fucking name of it.
Yeah.
And New World dropped, and then New Upside Downside, at least during the beta, or at least at launch, Upside Downside, the way it was so popular, or at least requested, that the queue time, it was a joke. The queue times were like 16 hours.
Oh, geez.
People were texting their wives, "Hey, no, cool. You're gonna come home and like you're gonna have fun tonight? No, I need you to queue me up. I need you to queue me up in New World." But again, so I think as we mentioned how AT&T is getting involved in gaming,
Yeah.
and all these other companies that, in my opinion, that have no real business or know-how in gaming. This is be a tool or a place of support.
Quote of the day: be a tool.
Be a tool.
Like built like rather than coming and trying to make your own thing, and like Google, like look at Google Stadia. You can't come in and you can't just walk into this industry and think you're gonna make a couple $2 billion. Google Stadia learned that, etc. But I think this is where I want to see more of these companies that have nothing to do with gaming getting involved in gaming, building up resources, building up mechanics, building up elements we've really never seen before. Now again with Gamescom, I mentioned Atomic Heart. Again, we've heard of Atomic Heart a lot, so I would have been upset if I got more just CGI shit. That Atomic Heart trailer, that officially put me from I'm excited for this game. I'm probably gonna buy it. Oh, wait, no, Game Pass. I forgot.
Oh, you almost got $60 out of him.
Yeah,
so played yourself.
Hey guys, I just bought Atomic Heart. It's great. Arthur, you of all people, it's on fucking Game Pass. But Doug, so we got a gameplay trailer for Atomic Heart. It looks great.
I remember that game. Yeah,
it looks good. I can definitely see why they had to come out and publicly say, don't expect a BioShock-like game from this, because all the cinematic trailers up until now are really BioShocky. When you guys watch the cinematic trailer, there is a CGI element to it. It keeps going from gameplay to CGI. It has the CGI element had very Kojima-like vibes.
Okay.
So it goes gameplay, CGI, gameplay thing. The thing I'm referring to is like two lesbian robots, like.
Sick.
The two lesbian robots like stabbing each other, and they stab each other, and they make keys on themselves. It's again.
I've seen that once before.
I saw this. I just saw that and went
seasoned man right here.
It gave me a lot of it gave me like again Kojima vibes. I'm like, this is creative, but also what the fuck am I watching?
I love that type of stuff, man.
But again, so also gameplay wise, we do get a little more story that like. Robots have taken over. It's like a post-apocalyptic. Robots have taken over.
Okay.
It's a mix. Again with the whole BioShock thing. There's a mix of elements and weapons, like power in one hand, element in the other. Also, speaking of Dying Light, early you kind of link it. There's modified weapons. There's like an electric bat, like a pipe with saws around it.
Right on.
There are elements of the game, electricity, fire, and all that stuff. And again, if you've been on the fence or like eager for Atomic Heart, this multiplayer gameplay trailer like definitely impressed me. Okay. Still on the release date yet. The last thing we heard about was that cryptic blank Ember 2022. Yeah. But when people did the math, it doesn't match any month. It doesn't match November. Doesn't match September. Doesn't match.
Yeah.
December doesn't match any month. So it's either gonna come out September, November, December 22.
Yeah.
Well, was it on like Xbox's calendar for the next 12-month look? Because it's on Game Pass. Right?
No. So it is.
Was it on that? Look ahead.
No. So it was part of their calendar, but again, like when they said coming blank, it like the month ended in Ember 22.
Gotcha.
But there was blank spaces, like you're playing Hangman. It was blank spaces, but the number of blank spaces don't match any month.
Dang.
So people are like, again, they're like Sep. It's more than 3. So that automatically rolls out, September and But I'm saying is it left blank spaces like to fill in a word, but it didn't match anything.
Yeah.
So again, by elimination, because the fact that it ends in Ember, September, November, or December 22, this game's coming out.
It's definitely not September. They would have announced like at the
right,
at that
September 30th.
Maybe.
I'll be excited for it once I see a release date, because I everything that I've seen has been very impressive, and I'm gonna watch this trailer definitely after the show. I believe that it looks crazy, and it could be. It could be one of those things where it's like, this is what, like how it felt when BioShock came out for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this world? This is crazy. But I'm sorry, guys, give me a fucking release date. Like, it looks great, but commit to something so I can like be all in. Like, even if it wasn't for Game Pass, I would be open to buy the game. But you guys have to show me that you're on track and that you're willing to release it the same fucking day that you say you are, which is a lot to ask apparently from a gamer in 2022.
Yeah.
But that's kind of my stance. I think it is cool that they release more stuff, but I just need a little more to get.
I will say,
think that I don't know if it's coming out this year. I mean, because it's a vacant fall, right, for gamers. I mean, besides like God of War and of course Sonic the day right before. We're all looking forward to that.
Dude, I feel like I feel like AAA games have burned me so much. I'm like I can like fill in the blanks all these niche games like I could download this next year, but again, I'll say on a large scale, I say not too many people like did Island compared to God of War.
Yeah.
But again, for like this fall, again, I mentioned Warhammer 40K Darktide, but again, that's like a niche, not AAA game. We got more gameplay for that, by the way.
That's right.
We did. It looks still as good as the last time I saw it, so I can't wait for that. You know, a game that caught my eye that I can't wait for is High on Life.
I almost messaged you directly. They dropped an 18-minute gameplay trailer.
You know I saw it.
Dude,
you know I saw it. I was like, let's go. So.
I was like, man, I know Church looking for that game. They dropped two versions. They dropped the full 18-minute gameplay trailer and then like a shortened 5-minute version.
Okay.
I saw both.
Okay,
Nice.
So my impression of it looks like, you know, an okay gameplay, generic type of thing. I don't think it's doing anything too special from like the shooter aspect. But I don't know if that's the point. I think it's filling a niche, and with the voice acting, the weapons talking, I think it's just going to be a funny game. I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
I think that comedy style is hilarious.
Classic,
and when's the last time a game's tried to be funny?
South Park.
I mean,
South Park Boho.
okay, besides South Park. Can you forget that? Yeah. Okay, so
Very few. Very few.
But
like,
I'm just
I
saying,
feel like games back in the old days, like Xbox
were meant
One,
to be funny. It
had like
wasn't
a humor take.
It wasn't humor wasn't a featured element. It was the goal. And yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're right.
And I'm definitely feeling this. I feel like again we're gameplay wise, you are correct. You're not in it for like the massive combo system or like, you know, this isn't a platinum games fucking S rank. This is, you're in it for a fun ride. You're gonna shoot some shit and you're gonna laugh your ass off the way there. I feel like I almost like, again, to like the last game like we just mentioned, it's like what South Park did to RPGs is like what these guys are doing to shooters.
Dude,
so it's a fun ride.
Exactly. Like, I mean, if you watch the gameplay trailer, I mean, do we go into sport? Can I talk about what I saw in the trailer?
Yeah.
So in the High Life, right? So you get to this point, you go into the slums, and like this little alien kid shows up. It's like, yo, I'm an alien kid. It's like, yeah. It's like you were like, he's talking shit.
Like he just like called you a bitch or something.
Yeah. And the player who's the main character tries to shoot him. It's like, and the guy was like, no, I'm not going to shoot a kid. That's a kid. He tries to do again. It's like, no, like you a kid. You fucking crazy. What are you doing? And then like the kid starts talking shit. And the next time you pull the trigger, he kills the kid. And he's like, you happy now? Like, you killed a kid. Like, congratulations. There goes our E rating. And I was like, that's a funny bit. But then it continues. He walks past into the next vendor you have to talk to. He's like, oh, I just heard that my son died. You killed him, didn't you? I was like, oh, no. I was like, the consequences are weird. I was like, it's okay. I forgive him. He's been asking for this for 30 years.
That's hilarious.
Hey.
Oh my god!
Hey,
yeah. So,
do you think the Red Gate has a chance of getting a girlfriend?
No, I don't. It was Blue Gate all the time.
By the way, watch the gameplay trailer. They do the classic. Like, I feel like the old school fantasy classic is like one gate tells the truth, one gate's a liar.
Yeah.
But they break it down to. Do you think my friend can get bitches? Like that's what it is. Like who do you think you get? Who do you think has more game in it? Who do you think has more game, or who do you think sexier?
Right.
I was like, that's a good take on that classic double gate. One's a liar, one tells the truth.
Yeah.
One gets bitches, one gets no bitches.
Very like Neo moment.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I'm so glad you saw the trailer. I was like, man, I was like, should I send this to church? Like, nah,
bro.
I did it because I was like, now you probably watched it. I was like, of all the Gamescom shit, he saw this.
I was like down. I did watch the whole like event, so I'm up to speed. But like, High on Life was like one of those games I was like looking forward to. Sad that I got delayed till December.
Yeah.
But it is what it is at this point.
I mean, hey, Upside Down, so you don't have to pay for it when it comes out, Game Pass.
I mean, yeah, day one. There we go, man.
Yeah.
Like,
and I'll say also to Atomic Heart and to that delay and to Darktide. Fuck, that's 3 games we all looking for. We got delayed.
I know, right?
Game Pass. Hey,
I will never
stop
stop paying for Game Pass. If they're just gonna keep doing this, we
should get them sponsored at this point.
Seriously, please.
Church. I was talking about Game Pass on this podcast for. I've been talking about Game Pass to Joel for years.
Yeah.
And then for weeks, I was talking to Joel about Game Pass. This man finally discovers xCloud and blows up my fucking phone. Yeah. I just played Doom on a phone with my PlayStation controller.
Dude, yes. It's so cool. Like, because I have friends that like mainly on like PlayStation, and I'm trying to sell them on the value of Game Pass. I'm like, it's one of those things until you have it, like you really
don't know.
If it's unbelievable, it's like crazy. It's like I can't go back. Like
unbelievable. It's crazy.
And so again, that's 3 games we all mentioned we're excited for: Atomic Heart, High on Life, Dark Tide. Those are 3 games that have confirmed delays, a possible delay or unknown release day after years of being in production. But for me and Church, maybe not so much for John on Atomic Heart, but we're like, you know what, the fact I don't got to pay $65 when it comes out.
That is true.
Helps a little
Game
bit.
Pass.
It helps a little bit. It's like, you know what? I'm still going through inflation. Milk is fucking expensive. Not High on Life.
Right. And that's probably what Microsoft wants. Like, we just chose 3 random games, right? And they just all happen to be
a game.
Like what?
Dude,
what happens?
They know what they're doing, bro. I was gonna ask you, Church, what were your thoughts on the revealing of the DualSense Edge for PS5, that controller release?
Oh yeah, good question. I like the energy. I like the energy PlayStation's going. Okay. They're going for an elite controller.
Yep.
I heard about that. Like, I think, was it today they actually have like a PC monitor as well for the PlayStation 5?
Oh shit.
They released, like, the stand looks like a PS5, but it's it's made specifically a Sony monitor made for PS5.
Oh yeah, I think I heard something like that.
Nice.
In regards to the controller, I think I'm going to get it. I don't know if it's going to be good. I like the back pedals on it. Because I'm trying to get an Xbox Elite as well.
Okay.
I just want to know if it has different colors. Like, so I think PlayStation giving the consumer more options of being more aggressive is cool. I think it looks sexy. I wonder how much it costs. I don't know how much the blog was. The controller is what, $70 now? So
$69,
oh Jesus, man. So, but I'm cool with it. Yeah, it looks cool.
Price point for that monitor you mentioned, I closed the wrong.
It's like $900, brother.
Yeah.
I almost bought it today. I was like, I don't need it, but I was gonna buy it. That's like,
here's the thing. It's just me. I mean, I don't mind you. I don't do PC as much. You guys can test to this.
Yeah.
On my 20, at least for monitor, I'm used to my 45-inch TV. $900 for a 27-inch monitor. I don't know.
It's just one of those things that I think it's better than other like monitors out there because of the technology inside of it. But like, does it? It's almost like OLED prices. Like, am I really spending this much money on a monitor? Like, when somebody could just buy a TV, I'd rather buy a TV than a monitor. It's just, it's not competitive. Like,
I think you have a good point. This is
here's the other side, by the way.
This is a deeper, darker criminal link in my brain, but I think some people that choose to go for a monitor is because some monitors have really powerful refresh rates. So when it comes to a TV, depending on the TV you're getting, you can match the refresh rate as far as for like the graphics and whatnot. But I think when it comes to certain really powerful monitors, they have such a powerful refresh rate where it's just so much faster comparatively to a screen. At least that's what's been explained to me.
Yeah, I mean, and this monitor has 144 gigahertz for refresh rate. Oh, okay. But it's the PS5. It's designed for the PS5, right? But it can only outpoint at 120, right? That's what the PS5 is locked at. Okay. And granted, if you use a monitor to game for PC, I'm sure you can hit that refresh rate. But like, I don't see how it's just advantageous just for a console owner having that monitor. True. So I don't know. It's crazy. So it's expensive.
Because to your point too, like at the end of the day, like if I look at both things, am I gonna really tell where I can justify a $900 purchase?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you could spend that money on a television that comes with Game Pass app. Spend $1 and buy all the games that we're talking about.
Shit, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Dude, for that price, you can literally, you can buy a TV, Game Pass subscription, and a controller. Fuck it, 2 controllers and have all that. And real quick, for those watching the video, I passed. I do my best to compare apples to apples. So you said 27 inches Sony, $900. The Microsoft one is $1,100, but 43 inches.
Oh,
okay.
So that's
mine is bigger than yours. Like, I guess so.
So that's how I started church.
We're dicks on the table.
So that's why I slid over to church. I was like, man, 27 inches for $900, and I pulled up the actual like Microsoft like advertised Xbox 4K Ultra HD gaming monitor parentheses Xbox edition from Asus. Yeah, $1,100 for 43 inches. And I was like, It's like six. I was like, see, 45 inches. I could just buy that.
Yeah.
I could just buy 45 inches for $1,100, but 27 inches of 4K. 4K, but at 27 inches for 900.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of the Callisto's Protocol? That game coming out. Are we excited for that, boys? Like, what's happening?
I'm excited for it personally.
This one, it actually made me a little nervous with this gameplay, but I don't know if it's because I don't know if like lizard people were playing it, but like it seemed really slow. Like I feel like the because up until now, like name the announcement trailer, people dying, like active, fast paced, death. Oh my god, scary. And even the last thing we saw, but like this, now I get it, you can say stealth element, fine. But I'm just saying for me, at least in terms on staying on narrative or keeping consistent of like the pace of the game, the tone of the game. This one was like at least to open it with a kind of like a stealth element thing, and then it ramped up. But like I would have liked them just shown. Fuck, here's a horde of shit. That's me. Like
they chose like bad footage.
Like, give me all the monsters.
Yeah, I would have liked it. I would have liked to have seen a scene of like, let's say if like, for example, like let's say if they advertise or like we see a gameplay trailer for the new Dead Space remake. I'm gonna bet when they finally show gameplay, they're not gonna show a stealth. They're not gonna. I would bet they're not gonna show a stealth section of the game. They're gonna show fucking shooting off limbs.
Yeah.
And so again, I'm not saying I'm not gonna buy the game now. I'm not looking for the game. I'm just saying I feel like they just picked a potentially not great section. I feel like if I'm alone in this, that's fine. But again, I just feel like from the first announcement trailer, like, oh fuck, the spooky, like that's just me. Well, I did like the whole gear thing in the middle though. I do like how there are elements like literally like things like your surroundings. Play into how you can defeat your enemies.
Well, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, Arthur. I'm completely opposite than you. I loved it. I loved the stealth. I loved it. It was so good, man. I love the immersion, the intense, like creepy monsters around every corner. That works for me. So, like the showcase, I was all in it, man. And then you can like force stop them and then push them into the mechanic. I was like, let's go. Let's go.
We got like a gravity gun. We got a gravity gun situation.
Right.
That was cool.
Fire.
I did like the whole, like I said, for me, like I said, again, that was just me though. But again, mind you, at the same time, I'm playing a zombie game where I'm just like, get out. I'm playing Dead Island. We're nearly dying all the time. So like I said, so just fresh in my mind of like monster, like X number of monsters equals X death equals X fast paced. So again, my very recent muscle memory was tweaked.
Because the other context too that it's hard to get when you're watching a trailer is when you're playing it, you're gonna feel like, around the corner, fuck, you're hearing the air of like the space station where the fuck it is, like
you're hearing all three of them growl or some shit. So again, audio, like you said, audio plays a big role. That's why I know multiple people that didn't finish that line, and so I feel like I play this way. I feel like if they would have included, for me, I feel like the first half, it just gave me muscle memory like lizard people vibes. Wow, look at this, like again the stealth part. Like,
okay.
The stealth
I'm trying to figure out what lizard people vibes is. Like, I'm so confused.
For the fans that aren't sure,
Okay, so when we refer to lizard people vibes at E3, it's all the time you see a quote unquote people talking during a game. It's like whether it's Gears of War or Halo.
Scripted,
it's like scripted. It's like supposed to be scripted, natural. Like,
oh my gosh, look at that loot.
Exactly.
I know.
They don't talk like people like, oh no, John's gone down. We should revive him. with a new instant revive mechanic because you're the healer.
I'm so glad you got that medical pack.
Wow, wasn't that pre-order perk really worth it, James? Like, you know what I mean? Like again, like that. So I feel like I used for the stealth part because it was like slow and shit. I just felt like if you would have included audio. So here in this stealth section, I'm gonna turn the corner left. Oh no, a monster. You know what I mean? But again, you're absolutely right. While playing the game, you're like, oh, fuck, a monster. You know what I mean? So that's what I thought.
That's a great point, too, because I remember just this randomly got popped in my head as far as like watching this footage. I remember when the first Last of Us, they had someone play, but there wasn't any lizard people talking. Like the guy could have like said things or whatever, but they just let the game show itself.
Yeah.
And everyone was like, fuck, that was fucking awesome because Joel took some dude and slammed his head on a fucking
on the glass counter.
I
remember that. I remember that.
Yeah, and it was just
I was drinking with you.
Yeah. the whole gameplay that they chose was just perfect. Like they just showed the gameplay for itself, and maybe Callisto Protocol should have been something like that too. Because when you have like lizard people gameplay, it almost like eradicates like what the actual tone of the game is. You know what I mean? Like if they add lizard people in Last of Us, I would have been like,
Like the game for me, here's what I'm saying is like when I was watching it, I feel like there was too many unnatural movements. Like they were showing us stuff like, look at that. There's nothing there, but like look, there's nothing there, but look at this.
Yeah.
Okay, so I didn't like. I had like I guess the audio down on my TV when I watched that trailer. So there was people talking over the gameplay.
No, it just
lizard.
That's why I'm like I think I'm alone on this. So okay, there was no one talking.
Oh,
but
I was wondering some people were talking.
Yeah. I was just like, call Spider-Man. Like, what's that?
No, that's why. Again, that's why I feel like I'm alone in it. That's why I feel like I'm alone in this. That's fine. I'm just saying during that first half of the stealth section.
Okay.
When they were like pausing. Like and looking
showing
at
off the ambiance.
You didn't need to. You're like, look at that roof. Look at all the polygon. I could just hear. I could just hear it of like, look at the detail of this vent. Like, look at the blood drip in the wall. That's a lot of detail. Oh no, John. A monster. Like it was again like just
whoever was playing was just kind of like paying attention to things that Disney need to be paying
doing that slow pan. And
exactly.
Here's the game.
Exactly. Every time you see in-game footage, you're absolutely right, Trigger. Every time you see every time you see the phrase "film them game," what's their first thing they fucking do? Taking a panorama shot. Like so again, that's it's like I've been Pavloved.
Yeah.
So like I mentally heard it.
That's a college education for you. I haven't heard Pavlov in a while. And I was like, start salivating.
I'm just saying. Like every time I see someone look at something for like an unnecessary length of time, in the back of my head, I'm like, we don't care about your walls.
I mean, sometimes you just want to get straight to the gameplay, so I feel you.
So so now once it kicked off, I liked it because I did like how at first I was like, okay, how difficult is Calypso Protocol? Because the first guy gets killed kind of easily, and then the second or third guy does not. He like evolves. I remember like the one that like evolved mid fight. It's like shoot, blah. Like shit. So again, I liked it. It just I was Pavlov. Every time I see him, like, look at this wall, look at this roof. I'm like, like look at the monster. I'm like,
I get you.
I just mentally heard it.
Interesting.
So could I like? Because I mean, I want to be nice because I shitted on like Dead Island too.
Yeah.
I want you to give you an opportunity to shit on one of the games I was looking forward to, which is like Gotham Knights, which was like part of the game.
Oh, I mean Destiny with a Batman logo? Dude. It's Destiny with a fucking Batman logo. Why is there loot and armor numbers in a Batman game? Why?
Bro, I was so hyped. I was so excited. I had faith, and maybe that's why I'm a little bit jaded today. You know, like
you mean you're not excited? You mean you're not excited to fly around in Nightwing's Fortnite glider?
I'm not excited to jump through the air as Red Hood with the mythic ability,
magical powers. Like let's invent shit.
Yeah, where's this go?
Yeah, yeah.
Give me my Fortnite glider.
Like. Don't it just it's the fact they're linking this to the Batman stuff. It's just
it's standalone. It's not part of the Arkham.
I know, but it's just you can't not do that.
It's only because it's from the same studio that we have this legacy issue.
That's a big.
I mean, they missed the mark, man.
That's a big only. Like it's only from the same people that did all the other fucking games.
So like, I was excited for the game. Started playing Arkham Knight for the very first time this last week and a half.
Mm-hmm.
Then I saw this trailer, and I'm looking at the combat. I'm like, I don't know how you guys deviated so far from like the goalposts. Like,
dude, I know Preston's really excited. Like Preston's really excited for this game to the point where he's like we mentioned he's willing to buy a PS5 just for this game.
Right.
Okay.
But even him and I both agreed Red Hood's gameplay looks fucking trash. Like because remember
the DPS scale, but it's not exciting.
But remember, so if you rewatch remember the true first watch gameplay we had was Red Hood, and then they showed the boss fight with Batgirl and Dr. Freeze.
Sexy.
But I'm like, an ass can only save so much. An ass could we
save a nation.
Hey man. Hey, you and I both know there's been a couple skins I've saved Overwatch for us. But we've drill real quick.
Oh Jesus, get to your point.
We've had multiple conversations on the skins Overwatch.
We're derailing. Get on track.
But
professionalism.
Okay, Arkham Knight, right? When you punch somebody, you felt like you punched, but there's power behind it. There's a reaction. There. It's like, again, there's power behind it. There's I can't think of another word. There's an oomph. Yeah. Like there's like a pow. There's a there's a power behind it.
You feel like you're fighting.
Dude, Red Hood, you're like, hey, I'm shooting you BBs. Everyone has BBs, and they're like, well, it's non-lethal. I've seen Jackass. Non-lethal shit can fucking hurt. Like it's like we all I remember it's like, oh, this is non-lethal. Okay, cool. Johnny Knoxville and Bam Margera had bruises fight 2 weeks on non-lethal shit. Those pellets can fucking hurt.
Yeah.
Then not unless Red Hood's firing them.
Exactly. And it's like we had Red Hood gameplay in Arkham Knight, which like the fighting mechanics were so cool. But I guess they're going more like a Marvel's Avengers style gameplay where you have
that's a good model to work off of.
I mean, yeah, they have abilities and cooldowns. It's just like I don't know if I'm ready to see it.
Wait, Gotham Knight has cooldowns?
Yeah, for abilities.
Unplayable.
Yeah, it has cooldowns. Yeah, it's like
I'm done.
Yeah, it has like literally. They released a video of Nightwing fighting Harley Quinn, like of the boss battle.
I think that came out yesterday. Or like
one of his abilities is like the symbol for his chest expands and glows around him, and it's like an AOE effect that debuffs villains around him. And I'm just like, oh, okay, so this is really like an RP.
Is he a druid? What the fuck are we talking about,
bro? Man, exactly.
That's his totem. Get the fuck out of here!
It's crazy.
How do you feel about the game being released early, October 21st?
Balls of steel, man.
Scrap it.
That they are so confident. Like, you know what? We gave you 25th. No, 21. Here you go. Here we go. Savage. Like,
there's BC turns against
right.
Like, so now people can argue. Oh, here's a big. Okay, there's cooldowns. Fuck that game. Here's how you want to how you got powers as Batman. You fucking earned it by doing a combo. You fucking coward.
Yeah.
Like
now when we say cooldowns, for those who might not know, is that just when you're fighting and then like
you got to wait 5 seconds?
Okay, that's what I thought it was.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so and now Batman didn't have the good Arkham games, the good Batman games didn't have quote unquote cooldowns. You had to build your combo to a certain number, a certain multiplier.
Yeah.
So like, I want to do this again. Well, fucking earn it, little bitch. Like, you know what I mean? But even then, it didn't. Again, like immersion, it didn't really take you out of the game. You just got to your combo. You're like, oh. And especially like end game or the challenges. Like I told you, Joe. I sat down for I spent like an entire day getting achievement. As far as I know, none of my friends ever got. Which is you have to in Arkham City, you have to get 100 combo, then maintain it for like 2 or 3 minutes. And by the way, like plank, like if you're like 2-3 minutes is a hard time, like try planking. It's a lot. The time just slows down. But so I'm saying, so going from that where you have to earn it to like for no reasons, like an RPG, Destiny, Marvel's game, which are 2 games known for perfection.
Yeah.
They're putting us in Gotham Knights. And even before this cooldown thing, I'm like, when they first showed the gameplay for like Red Hood, and I'm like, why is there loot? Why is that green? Why is that number? Why is there rarity? This isn't an RPG. Either make it an RPG or don't. Don't do this half-ass bullshit that we're seeing now.
It's interesting. I mean, for a long, do you guys know it's not a games of a service?
What do you mean?
Like Gotham Knights. For the longest time, I thought it was a games of a service.
Oh. No, I never thought it was.
I always thought, I thought it was.
Because I remember there was, what was that one?
I mean,
there was
like a living game. It's a live.
Oh, live service.
Live service. Games of service. Yeah. I always thought it was a live service.
Yeah.
I thought it was too.
But no, it's not. It's a single player game.
It plays like it, but it's not.
It plays like it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, shoot the fucking duck. I mean,
it looks like a game that was Marvel's Avengers came out, and they were like, "We need to switch directions."
That's probably what happened.
Yeah, I mean, and for DC people, you're probably right. And for DC people that are sad that they might have a bad game coming, Suicide Squad's coming out by the real Rocksteady, and I can't wait for that shit.
Oh yeah.
By the A team, not this B team bullshit.
I mean, yeah, I can't even defend it. It's a sad day. I mean, just hear Harley Quinn's voice acting. Let me know how you think.
Who the fuck is her voice actor? It's not Tara Strong.
Oh, bro, no.
Oh, you sound so mad. You sound so mad.
It is not, man.
It's not Tara Strong?
Bro, she sounds like more like Mother from like Darkseid's team. Are you a fan with DC? Like she has a raspy voice, bro, and it's like deep. and she's not funny. It's not.
I mean, I
appreciate like a different take on Harley Quinn.
I like Kelly's version in the DC show, Harley Quinn show. I liked her voice then, the girl from Big Bang Theory. I thought she did good.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
She did great.
Right? Yeah, she's great. No, bro, it's not like that. It's not like that.
You sound so defeated.
I mean, it's just it's a favorite, but it's just stylistically, I don't like the approach.
Dang.
So I guess to answer your question, Drill, I don't think Church is that excited for Gotham Knights.
No. I'm not. I mean, I want to play it out of curiosity, but we'll see what happens. So,
right.
And I guess everyone. I'll be the guinea pig for Dead Island. Let us know how that goes.
I'm still cool with Dead Island. I just got to see more. That's it.
Yep.
I'm more excited to play Dead Island 2 than Gotham Knights, to be honest.
Hey, I'll take that.
Hey.
I'll take that.
I'm lying. No, I don't know. Actually, no. They're about the same, bro. I'm sorry, bro.
You say that before. But here's the thing: you say that before you watch the gameplay, and you have watched the gameplay. And in fact, with Gotham Knights, the gameplay actually has turned you less and less down.
Yeah, true. But I'm a big Batman fan and DC fan. Like I love that. So we see what happens, man.
So that means you love Harley Quinn's voice, right?
No, I don't, man. But I'm excited to see
how they fucked it up,
dude. Because if they're not trying to mimic what they've done before, I'm excited to see different takes on villains and characters they've done. Yeah. To see if maybe something cool will come out of it. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anything else on Gamescom before we transition?
One of my favorite horror movies of all time is getting a game. A lot of people say it has no reason to game. I don't fucking care. I love this movie. It's one of the few. I still laugh every time I watch it. Killer Clowns from Outer Space is getting a fucking video game. Let's fucking go. I
remember you said that to me, and I was like, what?
It's because Killer Clowns from Outer Space is, in my opinion, one of the best B horror movies. It knows exactly what it is, and because it knows what it is, and it turns hard in that swerve and says, "Fuck it, we're gonna make it fun." Right. I still remember the scene where they go hunting for the people that escaped their big tent alien spaceship. Because why wouldn't their spaceship be like a big circus tent? They're killer clowns. Duh. Keep up. And then they bring out their quote-unquote hunting dogs, but it's like that novelty gift of the invisible dog, but it's like that stiff, hard leash.
Yeah.
Dude, whoever the actor was that played it, he played it up so well. Every time I see that, I still fucking laugh. Every time I see the scene of him playing up.
Yeah.
Because really specifically, when you think of the invisible dog leash, it's like that stupid novelty gift thing that no one does.
Oh.
He is the only person I've ever seen in my entire life make that worth a purchase. He played it up so well. I was like, that's funny. It was very convincing. It was very funny. I mean, they captured they do one of the ways they one of the scenes they're doing shadow puppets, and all of a sudden turns into a T-Rex and it captures all the people.
Yeah.
It's for me, it's a great B horror movie. It's comedy, again, the classic where you're entertained. Hell yeah, I was entertained. I liked that movie, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I'd argue people like more than let's say fucking M. Night Shyamalan's the last Avatar, the last Airbender.
I've never seen that movie.
I've never seen him there. I'll never watch that movie. But again, and another creative decision that was smart. You play as the clowns. You don't play as the people killing the clowns. You play the people you want. You play the clowns.
So I do have I did see that game. I do have a comment, and I feel like I'm just attacking the things you like at this game. But
I like niche things. I will admit that. I like niche things.
I'm not excited. I mean, I have my own personal bias when it comes to that movie.
What?
So, yeah, man, because it got me into an argument with my lady, bro.
Don't blame the movie. I mean, there's someone else to blame in that situation.
No, man. So it's one of those things to be like, I was trying to be all sweet, and you'd be like, a boyfriend, you know what, baby? I got us dinner. You know what? You could pick the movie tonight. You watch whatever you want. Don't worry about it.
Sounds like she made a great choice.
Scary movie? I don't like scary movies, but don't worry. I'll sit through it. I won't say anything. Just turn on that movie. I was like, I'm sorry. It made me a liar. It made me a liar. I had to 20 minutes in, I'm like, no, I can't do it.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I'm gonna watch this fucking movie.
And now they made a game. My place of peace. My sanctuary.
Well, hey.
Now I got a seat. Nah.
Yes.
And if don't you tell her. I know.
That's hilarious.
Because she gonna want to play the game. Won't be so.
Dude, you know that's gonna that's going to my group chat.
That's fucking hilarious. And it's multiplayer.
Let's go. Even at least real quick for Joel, it's like as a music fan, have you heard the sound the soundtrack? I love the soundtrack to that movie. They took that classic circus, and they put like the perfect like 80s guitar and rock synthesizer shit with it. I love that fucking soundtrack.
Cool.
I love. In fact, right before COVID, I was going to go to a concert in LA. They're gonna have normally with like movies like Star Wars and Jurassic Park or Lord of the Rings, they have an orchestra playing. No, fuck that. They're gonna show Killer Clowns Went Out of Space and like an 80s themed punk band playing the songs as they go. And I wanted to see that. I missed it.
Fire.
I missed it. I want to see that. Like it's like there's class. Like John Williams is a classic amount of movie cinema and soundtracks. But again, when you think John Williams, you think of orchestra. Now you think of Killer Clowns, you think of like fuck 80s punk band. Let's go.
Yeah.
And I missed that. So again, I of course, like I said, biased in this, but I like it. I believe it to a point. I agree with you. There's no point this game should exist. No. Yeah, I'm fucking hyped. It is. This game has no. It's gonna
be Game Pass too.
This game has no point to exist, and yet I'm so hyped
It'll be
for it.
$30, and you're gonna have to buy it.
Right.
I'm so hyped for it.
Upset. I'll be like, why? I'm gonna send you all the screenshots. Watch it be like a great game and be like, everybody's talking about it. I'm like, Jesus.
Dude, I want that song. I want that song.
I'll be like, oh no. And then the directors, for those who doubted us, I'll be like, he's talking directly at me.
He just points it
Dude, how it was for Sam B's "Who Do You Voodoo Bitch"? A lot of people got that song stuck in their head. I want that sound. I want that soundtrack to get stuck in people's heads. Killer clowns around outer space.
That's crazy.
And I will say another bias.
That's probably the best part of the fucking movie, honestly.
Oh, it's great. The soundtrack is great.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, my bad. I had one more thing for Gamescom, but go ahead, finish.
I'll say for lastly, another reason. Again, I'm absolutely biased. This I fucking love it. I think it's a great B-horror movie. I'm a little biased because it's filmed in Santa Cruz. That's where I lived for 5 years. I miss living there. Okay. I think some of the great movies have come from Santa Cruz. You got Killer Clowns From Outer Space and Lost Boys. They have a 2-0 record as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, but 1-0.
He's like, nah. That's hilarious.
So I have one more thing from Gamescom. Yeah. I don't know if it's a talking point in yours, but you
can act it out.
It's about the man, the myth, the legend. Is that one of the things?
Kojima?
Yeah, Kojima.
Goddamn right it is.
All right. So go ahead.
We're professionals, bro.
My bad.
We're professionals, bro. We can talk. We can make anything a talking point, man.
Okay.
No, I know. I'm super excited about this, and I wasn't even gonna make it a talking point because this is like my Killer Clowns From Outer Space. Where I'm like, ooh, this is exciting. No, so Hideo Kojima, for those who don't know what we're talking about, he's gonna start a podcast, and it's called Brain Structure. It's going to be available in English and Japanese, which I'm super excited about because I was talking to Arthur about this in the car because he just released a book this year, wrote a book this year that I still need to read. But originally he was going to do some type of a radio thing, but it was going to be in his native language, in Japanese. I was like, damn, I would love to hear anything that he's talking about, or creatively or artistic or whatever. So the fact that he's doing a podcast coming out September 8th, by the way, I am super over the moon because, Kojima is one of the reasons why I got into video games in general, especially with Metal Gear Solid, how the power of narrative and also mixing. Someone brought this up in an article, and I was like, that's a really good point. But him mixing espionage with paranormal shit.
Yeah.
He's one of
great combination.
Yeah, I feel like he's one of the pioneers that did that really well. You know what I mean? So I'm fucking ecstatic. And what were your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just wanted to bring it to light. It's one of those announcements I didn't expect.
Yeah.
And one of those things, a pleasant surprise. I mean, I listen to podcasts, obviously, and just seeing what Kojima has to say. Yes. I'm just curious. I don't even know if I like it. I'm like, what is this going to be?
What's he talking about? He's talking about this day I got up, brushed my teeth, and we're like, oh my God.
Right. And just the potential guests from the game industries, maybe other curators. It might be interesting to see how things go.
Very true.
But I don't know what the nature of the show. I mean, his Hollywood Connect too.
Is Guillermo del Toro?
Yeah, right.
I was gonna say the trigger's question. Did he? I didn't see that. Of all things, Gamescom, I missed that only because I figured like Kojima Drill. Can't say have one without the other. Like you're like me, Dick Pass. Sorry, Game Pass. And Dick Pass.
Or should you call it Dick Pass? Or as Arthur likes to call it.
That's too much euphoria.
We may or may not be talking about the talking points of Euphoria before the show. So I was to say, like you can't have Kojima without Drill. You can't have Game Pass without Dick Ride for me. So yeah, but yeah. So was there a theme, or is it like just?
I have no idea.
It was just I mean, unless it was like a blog post that went into detail, but in the trailer it was just like, hey, Kojima came out. This is happening. Yeah. Thank you. Great opportunity. Join September 8th.
I love how cryptic and I love how crypto mysterious he is.
Yeah.
He's one of the... Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just going to say that one of the things quoted, it said it'll be a deep dive into his brain and shed light on his creative process.
Best answer.
That's all I need.
Best answer they could fucking give him.
Let's go.
Hey, what's his podcast?
Where do I follow?
Sentences. That's someone need.
Where do I follow this shit?
Point. Yeah. That is the best talking point they could have given. What's the show's about? Kojima's brain. Cause yeah, man, like he's like I don't use social media much. I just use it to message my friends or just share memes. That's all it is for. It's like Preston knows. Like, hey, I want to see this video of some lady shitting her pants. Here you go, Preston. But Kojima's the only celebrity I follow on Instagram. Man, the guy is the most he never puts captions. I don't care what he takes a picture of. No captions. Fuck you, figured out.
Picture's worth 1,000 words. This man's a genius.
And they all, dude, man. Because if you really want to follow someone interesting, like follow Kojima on whatever social. I can't speak to Twitter because that involves words. You can only do like whatever character.
142.
But again, Kojima on Instagram, he's hilarious. I'm the opposite. Like, you guys want to talk about games? I want his fucking neighbor to show up and be like, "How was your day?" "Oh, I had super breakfast." I want to be the most bland, mundane yet entertaining thing I've ever fucking seen.
Dang.
I want to be like, so something happened today. "What happened, Kojima? New game?" "No, I dirtied my shoe." "What else?" "Just a shoe." And then talk an hour about his morning walking his. I don't know if he has a dog, but talk an hour about walking his dog. Yeah. Like, I want the most.
He's like a cat person to me.
Because also, to be fair, that's on point for Kojima. Like, you want to hear about my games? Fuck you. You're gonna hear about my fucking breakfast. Right. like that's Kojima.
It could.
It
would be Kojima either
way.
That
would be Kojima.
That's what makes it so exciting, because it could be anything, right?
Anything.
Yeah.
Dude, what are we talking about today? Best omelet. Like, Denver or Spanish.
It's weird too, because I've never had that type of mindset with any other medium, any other artist, anything that's being excited for. It's like, what is he gonna say? Like, I can't think of anyone that I've really had a big kinship for, just liked like that, like Kojima. So
always keep them guessing.
Crazy.
And I'll say one more thing too for Kojima that really wasn't like super announced. I only saw it because of his socials. Speaking of Kojima, and that we didn't see. I didn't hear anything about it from Gamescom, but just prior to Gamescom, there was a big Kojima gaming announcement. I think big.
That's right. I'm trying to remember the fucking.
This is not the xCloud game or the cloud-based game he's making.
Nope.
Death
Stranding's coming to Game Pass.
Oh yeah.
I mean PC Game Pass.
I downloaded it already.
Yeah. Okay.
I was after that.
And again, Kojima announces the way he does. Kojima never officially said Death Stranding is coming to Game Pass. That's like Church said, that involves fucking words.
Yeah.
This is Kojima. He just showed not even a full image of Norman Reedus, just a profile of like elbow to knee of you can tell is Death Stranding character with Game Pass on the delivery package. That's it. Fuck you. Figure it out.
Yes.
Again, everybody else, a press conference, a fucking an announcement video, a YouTube video, a fucking just nope. Here's one image. If you can't figure out what game it is, it's not for you. Go fuck yourself. Bam. Death Stranding's coming to Game Pass. PC Game Pass.
Kojima. Dude. It's crazy. I wish I had a PC, but I don't. Damn. Well, maybe I could stream it.
I need a gaming laptop. They're cheaper. They're super cheap now, or comparatively. So that's one of my goals, because this guy's fucking gonna be destroyed. In a matter of minutes.
I was like for record, Jarrell's referring to his laptop being able to sustain.
Yes.
Death Stranding. But yeah, so. Yeah, a lot of Kojima. Like, I feel like this is the most consecutive consecutive legit Kojima news we got in years combined. Like we got 2 Kojima things in like 2 weeks. That never happens.
Yeah. I think something big's coming, man.
Well, you remember he still has the quote unquote passion, like quote unquote lifelong passion, or like passion project coming to Xbox.
Yeah, they did it.
And that's a hell of a phrase to say. That Kojima has a passion project, and then he comes.
That's not Metal Gear. Like
that's not Metal Gear. That's not Metal Gear. Not Sony.
Because in theater, in retrospect, he hasn't been excited for Metal Gear in many years.
He's been burnt out.
He's been locked in that contract with Konami. After Metal Gear Solid 2: Sons of Liberty, he wanted to stop making Metal Gear games. But they were like, "No, bitch, you got fucking this many things." So I think Phantom Pain he had some passion for, and then he kind of forcibly had to apply some creativity. But when it comes to just the general, like him being truly passionate, it stopped after Sons of Liberty. So I think this passion project that he's doing with Microsoft, it really speaks volumes, and then it also speaks volumes to me on his relationship with PlayStation. He says that he has a good relationship with PlayStation because first people were like, PlayStation, you dropped the ball, or they thought that he was mad at PlayStation. And then one of his PR people from Kojima Productions was like, no, like we're still fine with PlayStation. But this is like to me, this is typical like Jerry Maguire stuff where it's like, look, if your passion project is not on Sony and it's on Microsoft, that speaks volumes to me. Yeah. So that to me, somebody fucked up on Sony's side. So
facts.
Like a wise man once said, ain't easy being green.
Speaking of Sony fucking up, they're also getting sued for $5.9 billion. What a transition to the next
I love that
here.
transition. I love that.
What did he get sued for? Like,
I will most definitely explain. So this is an article from Kotaku, and I chose Kotaku just for funsies. So hopefully it's I can actually read it.
It's actually coherent.
Yeah, exactly. So it says here, in quote, the argument here is that Sony has a, in quote, near monopoly on the sale of digital games, particularly PlayStation games, and so it shouldn't be using that power to enforce unreasonable prices on consumers. Sony is not the only platform that enforces a 30% take. Most major storefronts do, with the notable exception of the Epic Games Store, end parentheses. We'll have to wait and see whether or not the courts uphold the PlayStation ecosystem is a monopoly and whether or not that will have an impact on the other walled gardens like app stores or Steam. Kotaku reached out to the legal team about what it considers to be a reasonable commission fee, but has not gotten a comment at the time of the publication. It says here, I'll read this little paragraph too. So it says the plaintiffs point out that gaming is the biggest entertainment industry in the UK, and Sony is hurting customers who can't afford their games. In quotation, it says, we're in the midst of a cost of living crisis and the consumer purse is being squeezed like never before, said Alex Neal, a consumer rights advocate who filed the lawsuit. While I'm sympathetic to how inflation makes it difficult for players to afford more games, I'm not sure if I would lump gaming together with the cost of living crisis. Paying rent is a necessity. Playing God of War Ragnarok on launch is not, end quote. And then the other funny thing that kind of happened, or coincidentally, I'm sure you know this, Church, is that from other countries, there's been an inflation hike on the cost of the PlayStation 5. Not in the U.S., but around the other countries where the cost of the system will go up, which is kind of insane. But I guess just to start off with this particular topic, as far as for PlayStation, I'll give my little 2 thoughts, and then I'm curious to see what your thoughts are. When it comes to like having games that are at a higher cost than they should be, I will say for one, Sony shouldn't be the only people connected to this. There's a little company named Nintendo that's much well known to having games that have been 20, 30 years old, charging for $30 to $60.
So what is, before you get more into your details,
sure.
So I just want to grasp the premise.
Yeah.
What's dictating that it's high? Why it's a higher cost? Is it because the how old the game is? What are the...
So with this particular lawsuit, there's 2 major elements.
Okay.
Sony has a near monopoly on Sony exclusive titles.
Okay.
And then their commission is is high. It's a combination that their commission being quote unquote high
For the third party?
Yeah.
Okay.
And again in combination with the fact that Sony has the near monopoly on where you can where you want to buy Sony exclusive items.
Okay.
For example, case in point, like Ori and the Blind Forest, though that's a Microsoft Studios game, you can buy that through other vending sources. Yeah. Whereas Sony limits where you can buy their Sony exclusive games.
And this is also another, and that's right, Arthur. Another attachment to this too is that Sony has like burned its own bridges with platforms that Sony had, but they no longer offer those games available. So for instance, there was a huge fucking issue originally where they wanted to get rid of the PSP games entirely. Like they wanted to just get rid of those. I think PlayStation 3 as well. And then Jim Ryan was like, no one wants to play those games and we're all good, pretty stuff.
Blockbuster games.
Blockbuster games, as they say. And a lot of people were pissed. Even like journalists from IGN, which a lot of them are just like spoon-fed, like, oh, talk about this. You know, like I don't even like half of that's a whole other issue. But this guy was like honest. He was like, I'm actually pissed off about this. And he was like, you know, and he's a big PlayStation fan. So like they already have a notion of when it comes to game preservation, it's a huge issue. It's a huge issue as far as game preservation, especially with Sony games, and to the fact that they want to reduce the library catalog of their own games, and then to have a specific price that's consistently high. I could see people having an issue with it. So I think there is a relative argument as far as for the specification of the argument. I think that's where it might be an issue in court. Because the same can be said for a lot of other, it could be said for Nintendo. You know what I mean? I don't think it's specific enough as far as the argument, but I can see where there would be an issue. There would be an issue with it because there's a lot of, it's like I was saying before, for Nintendo, which kind of mirrors PlayStation as well, where there's a lot of older games where they're charging it like it just came out. Like even just to give the example of the PC platforms, they want to have a lot of PlayStation stuff go to the PC. And the 2006 God of War, prior to the Ragnarok, they're still charging $40 or whatever for whatever it is. This new Spider-Man remake, even though it is a remake or remaster, I understand they should not be charging $60 in my opinion. I think they just have to bite the bullet on some of these titles, that they're releasing. It's like you cannot charge these high prices, especially when it comes to PC customers. They're used to getting things crazy cheap.
Steam sales, 99 cents.
But that's kind of at least my take. What are your thoughts around the lawsuit?
Okay, so against the lawsuit, it's interesting. Just going off the information that you gave me, I'm just thinking through my thought process right here.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't necessarily agree with the lawsuit. Do I think that they should charge $70 for an old game like The Last of Us, remake part 1 coming out?
What do you mean? That's super pop. That's a super
built from the ground up.
That's a fair price.
Built from the ground up.
I mean, that sounds like a fair price to me, guys.
You really feel like you're throwing that brick across the room to distract the.
Spider-Man? No, I think gamers need to speak with the wallet in that scenario, but I think it's up to the market to decide what they want to charge for something. I mean, at the end of the day, it's art, so it's subjective. How much is this worth?
Sure.
Nintendo games notoriously, as you mentioned, hold their value 10 years later. Like, they never drop down in price.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised.
Super Mario Odyssey it's going to be $50 until the Switch 2, whatever that comes out.
Dude, no, that thing's gonna be that price until the sun fucking supernovas. Like,
it's crazy. So it's one of those things that like, what can we do as gamers to have cheap and affordable games? Now, that being said, I don't think $70. I don't believe in unnecessary price hikes. Yeah. Do I think games need to be charged $70 right now? Yeah. No, not at all. Like, I don't think it's justified for the content that we're kind of getting or like what's being made. I know the cost of production has gone up,
right?
But it's like at the same time, do you really need $70 per game? So I guess I need more introduction to the lawsuit because you got GameStop. You know, you can always go to GameStop. You know, you can go online, buy previously owned games. So it's not like you're cornered such in a market. But we are entering an age where, like, now you see the value of physical copies, where you can have this, you know, resale market. Now, if everything's gone digital, you know, Sony controls what's on sale and not on the digital platform as a sale. So, like, they control the, you know, they have a monopoly on the market. I think there might be a case to win it in law. You know, same reason why, like, Apple was getting sued by, you know, having a monopoly on the storefront for the software, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's kind of weird. I don't know. Yeah. Let me think about it a little bit more. Go ahead.
I will say
I know you were like, no, fuck Sony.
So for some more context to your point, I will say this lawsuit is based on the digital monopoly of Sony. So this isn't
for the first party games.
Yes. So the GameStop, Walmart, Target stuff. Again, they are saying this is as for the near monopoly on their digital market. Yeah. And I will say when it comes to a digital monopoly, again, Nintendo. Like, I can't are you able to buy a digital version of Mario Odyssey that's not a Nintendo fucking shop?
I don't think so.
I mean, you could buy a digital version of Mario Odyssey, but they sell you a console that can always use physical. I mean, except for the Switch Lite, my bad. Well, no, Switch Lite is physical copies as well. They don't have like a digital only system. Am I mistaken?
But as a guy that doesn't like openly buy Nintendo stuff that much at all, like, am I able to go to, like, let's say Amazon right now and buy a digital code for Mario Odyssey?
Okay. Yes, you can.
Okay.
So you can, but here's what Nintendo's kind of exempt. Like we just mentioned, the prices never change. What's in GameStop is the same what's in the digital. You know, the game values don't fluctuate. It's not that big of a discrepancy where you buying, like, you know, God of War at $60, but you could go to GameStop and get it for like 10. You know, that may be that. If that was a big point, I would argue. You know,
I will say a side note, that is a discussion I've heard in a few places online. Of like, why are digital games the same price as physical copies? I know that's like separate from this thing, but it's like, you're not paying for shipping.
Yeah, I agree with that. It should actually be cheaper. Like, I'm on your side with that. Yeah. It's like, there's no production. It's cheaper. Why is it the same?
There's significantly less manual labor.
We don't even get a booklet anymore.
It's California.
I miss bad booklets, bro.
I was gonna say, like, I'm not the biggest, like, big government guy, but I'm like, hey, man, California, you like your environment. They save on plastics. Make it fucking cheaper. Yeah. But again, to this lawsuit, like Jarrell said, like, unbiasedly, it's like, again, Sony is not dealing with the practices of this. I would say, again, Nintendo is a much more culprit of both the pricing and the monopoly aspect of it. Yeah. I don't know what will come from this. Because they did say that 30% commission is not abnormal for the industry. So again, I think there may be some grounds, but again, if this passes, and if I was Nintendo, I would lawyer the fuck up.
Yeah, I'm sure they're already sticking to the guns on that.
So I guess because I'm still getting all the details, but it's a digital monopoly they have, right? But so
that's the case. That's the case they're making, is that. But
that's only a problem if you have a digital only console, right? As long as you have like a physical, like, is that an issue?
No, for
the consumer.
So what's happening? But that's what this is based off. It's like, even though the option is there, and that's a potential case for the defense. But that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying is, if you want to buy it digitally, which the market is hard trending towards, that Sony is creating a near monopoly of where you can get their digital, where you can get Sony digital games.
Yeah,
that's a thing. And there's other elements to it, like, again, I mentioned commission fee, mentioning the price gouging, stuff like that. But like the near monopoly, like in the quote, like kind of the monopoly aspect of it, and the pricing is like the two big things.
Yeah,
of what they're saying.
I think I agree. I mean, I don't know how Nintendo is guilty of it so much. I can see the parallels, but I think Sony being, the more we go digital, this is going to be, you know, a situation like, well, they control the market. Like, I can set it to anything I have to, and you can only come here to play, you know, at least for the first party titles, you know, at that point. Yeah. And, you know, and that actually could affect third party titles at the end of the day. Because like if you only have a digital system, right, and they decide and then take more off the cut if you sell something digitally, it could just be an issue. So
I mean, like, do you have that? I don't even know what it's called. It's not the Slim. I'm gonna talk about the PS5 no disc version. Does it have an official name? Just
PS5
Digital edition.
Yeah,
just
edition,
a digital edition. Okay.
Yeah. My homie has that, but like, yeah.
But again, I think there's grounds to this. But again, they're definitely not the only culprit in this. And I will say, for like context, Drell, you're talking about Nintendo pricing old games.
Yeah,
dude, I buy original Xbox games through the Xbox store for like $5 all the fucking time. $2.50, $2.75, $3 all the fucking time. Like, in fact, I want to start playing Hunter the Reckoning, an old school game I used to play with my friend.
Oh man, classic multiplayer game.
I bought it for $5.
Classic. Oh, classic
$5.
game. So fun.
Xbox original.
So fun.
As it should be.
But I mean, at the end of the day, like it's still the same issue. It's just Xbox setting the price, and it just happens to be cheaper. Like I guess the heart of the lawsuit is whether or not they have control in the market.
Yeah.
Now, Xbox might be more consumer friendly than PlayStation currently, but then I guess Microsoft is just as guilty on that scenario.
I think
right.
Yes, I would say though that Microsoft has the capital to
afford it
to take the hit. I think on those discounts versus Sony.
I mean, I don't even think it's about taking a loss on the product itself, right? I think the lawsuit is just arguing the philosophical, like the concept of like, yo, is there competition in this marketplace, or is it or not, regardless of what the price is, you know? But
so there's definitely, so they mentioned it. This definitely comes off of the following the Epic Apple trial. I remember for context of like the monopoly of the Apple trial, there was a guy that took the stand who had like a workout thing.
Okay.
He couldn't even advertise his own app anywhere except for the Apple thing.
Yeah.
Now again, that's not this case, but again, that's just kind of what they mean by like monopolizing it. So like for me to just kind of bring it to context. So again, of like this, because again, for PC players, like Joel was saying, like Steam, Epic, all these places, you have options of how to where to get this at affordable costs. So I don't know. Like honestly, because my thing is my biggest thing is like kind of we're all agreeing to a point that Sony's not the only one for this, and so it's two things. It's a class action lawsuit, and it's by quote consumer rights advocacy group based in the UK.
Because like I'm not sure what point I'm making. I'm just saying this. But as far as
shit.
as far as
speak your truth.
As far as for the Epic Game Store, like I'm starting to like that store more and more. Like I've downloaded more free games than I've had in a long time.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Right on.
You know what I mean? Like the latest Tomb Raider series, they've been releasing that shit for free.
The new trilogy?
Yeah.
Oh, you should try it. It's really fun.
Borderlands 3 they released for free still, because originally they were just doing that during the holiday, and they were saying like how much money they've lost. But like I mean, these are the same people that own Fortnite, so like fuck off. Right? Yeah, but it's like, and then sometimes I'll go there for say like Red Dead Redemption or whatever, that was on sale for like $26.99, where everywhere else it was $60 still. So it's just like I'm becoming more of a fan of the Epic Game Store. When originally I was just like Epic, but now I'm like, oh well, fuck, like this seems to be a good deal,
So with that, I guess I can say a potential source or potential push for this lawsuit. Whether it's going to win, I don't know. I have no idea. That's far beyond me. But like again, like kind of like you're just saying how you went to the Epic Game Store because it was cheaper. Competition benefits the consumer.
Yeah.
You remove the competition, you create problems.
Right.
So like that's kind of if I just sum this up to like describe it, that's the way I would describe it. Competition benefits the consumer. You remove the ability for competition. You're hurting. You're no longer benefiting the consumer. You're hurting them. Now, to what degree? We'll see. We'll see how much of a $5.9 billion lawsuit. Yeah. Do I think they're going to get $5.9 billion? No. But again, that
money would have to go towards the people that have purchased those games in whatever span, right?
So hey, church,
we don't even know that context.
So church, you might get a little payout. You might
that
commercial
PlayStation first party games.
Those infomercials.
Yeah.
Did you buy a Sony game between this year? Call 1-800 pay me now, fuckers.
Remember when the PlayStation Network was down for like X amount of months? It was the same time when Brink came out. I think Mortal Kombat came came out as well.
Oh yeah,
And they released like the wasabi sale. Like you can download a bunch of shit for free, and like bad stuff was discounted. Like, oh man, that ruined Brink.
Dang.
I remember new game coming out.
I remember
PlayStation Network down from hacking. Like,
I remember. Yeah, I remember Brink. I remember I got Brink for cheap, and it was dead upon arrival because of reasons outside the game's control. And I'll just say one more quick little fun Sony news.
Yeah.
Beyond this trial, one, they're making a Horizon Zero Dawn show on Netflix, and two, it has a director, the director of Umbrella Academy.
Oh yeah.
So I've been meaning to watch Umbrella Academy.
It's okay.
It's okay.
In terms of like non-Marvel, in terms of like superhero stuff, I put Marvel averaging a C. The Boys is S class for me. I think Invisible's up there too.
Yep.
Umbrella Academy has its moments. I would say averaging B-.
Second season is very good.
Yes.
The first season was very mediocre.
Yes.
I was just like, guys, what are we doing? But the second season, I was like, this is well written. Like, there's even a character that I did not like in the first season, and I kind of liked him a little more. It's because his writing was way better.
Yeah.
Knife guy.
It's the veteran. The young guy who was a veteran, where like his love like died in war.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
His story was really good in the second season. I have not seen the third season, and they just announced the fourth and the last season too, well, for the Umbrella Academy. But yeah. So that should be interesting. Horizon Zero Dawn. I know we talked about this a little bit before we started recording for Horizon Zero Dawn. I mean, you're a big fan of that. You played Forbidden West.
Yeah.
I
For
mean,
what, a week, two?
Is that
before Elden Ring came out? Yeah.
Then they consumed your life.
Yeah. Forever.
Sorry, dude. I feel like I want the guy that made Days Gone, the motorcycle zombie game, and then Horizon Zero Dawn just to team up and be like, Sony, what the fuck is with these release dates?
Right, man.
Yeah, because he's mad at everyone. I was gonna ask you, like, do we know what network that's gonna be on?
Netflix.
Oh, what are you? Your thoughts? Because you're a big fan of that Horizon series.
I am skeptical.
Yeah.
Because this is a video game transferring over to like a different entertainment medium.
Yeah.
I like the idea of Horizon becoming a show. I don't know. I haven't seen Umbrella Academy, so I don't know how it's going to look from his directing perspective. I'm kind of more curious now that Netflix is investing more into like live action. I mean, it's like a live action video game, right? Because they had what? Horizon, Castlevania.
They just released that Resident Evil.
2 Resident Evils.
Yeah,
two
Resident Evil. Yeah, and they just did Tekken Bloodlines as well.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, which is really good.
I need to check that out.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. So it's cool that video game is getting that love. I got to see more.
Yeah.
So
I'm so mad that they're making Metal Gear Solid a movie. I'm like, that has to be a miniseries. Like, it literally has to. It's too convoluted.
But Metal Gear Solid is based off a movie, though. So
the character is
inspired by Escape from LA.
The character, the character is inspired by a movie
Pliskin,
character. There you go.
I mean,
because I was like, I've seen Escape from New York, Escape from New York, Escape from LA.
Yeah.
They don't go nowhere near in depth that Kojima did.
I saw it. I mean, Metal Gear Solid movie? Oh, it's gonna be terrible.
How are you gonna do that? Because the guy from
who's playing
Oscar
Snake?
Isaac, Oscar Isaac,
Moon Knight, or
is
whatever.
playing Snake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could see it.
I've seen Dune. I've seen Dune like 4 times. I liked him in Dune.
Yeah, he's a good actor.
I like him.
If he's written well,
what do we want from a Metal Gear Solid movie? That's the question. Right?
A show.
Do we want to?
Not a miniseries.
Yeah, but do we want it to be action packed like a James Bond movie, or do we want it to be more methodical espionage type of like how do we want it to go? There's so many
things. There's so many things you want in a Metal Gear Solid thing. I want.
Tell me something.
I want a cardboard box with anime girls. We all want our own thing.
I need a locker with the posters, like yes.
We all know Drell wants a naked riding cartwheeling his man ass all over the screen.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If it doesn't have it, it's trash.
Yeah. What the fuck is
who is the companion for Metal Gear Solid 5?
I need a cigarette.
What's your name? Quiet. I want Quiet. I want quiet in my movie.
Quiet. Take Lady Littleby. She has the coolest power. Like,
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, she could dodge anything, bro. She was cool.
I'm sure.
Like,
I'm totally sure.
right. She was cool.
I mean, I feel
Yeah.
like we have to see Revolver
that's-
Ocelot some way, shape, or form. I'm a big fan of Revolver Ocelot.
Oh,
Yo,
thanks
that would be
for giving
actually
credit to our titty conversation drill.
That's
You could have named anybody else.
Y'all just objectify.
No, I was talking about my favorite.
I
was talking about cardboard
When I was
boxes.
a kid playing Metal Gear Solid, I was like, "Oh, Meryl's ass." So like, it's fine.
I mean,
Sniper Wolf.
but it's and here
That'd be 3
We're
hours.
just describing like fan service moments that like the series is like.
Yeah.
known
we're
for.
describing art, sir.
It's gotta be at least 3 hours, I would say, or almost 3
Do like a
hours.
I'll be happy 3
Do
hours.
it two, do it 2.5 hour. Like I said, Dune's like 2 hours 40 minutes. I've watched it like 4 fucking times.
Yeah.
Real quick to bring this back, I will say one thing. You know, I didn't at first like my Sony jabs. Now they're just too easy. We have one more Sony IP being made that won't be on Sony's new streaming service.
Last of Us.
No. I'm saying this Horizon, because remember,
Oh,
Sony.
yeah, one
remember,
more
Sony.
that's not-
Sony's
yeah,
going to
yeah.
have their own entertainment streaming service, and every time we hear more and more Sony things being adapted, we hear it not coming to this. Last of Us is coming to what? HBO. Horizon is coming to Netflix. So what the fuck is going to be on this Sony streaming
are these
service?
like Netflix originals? Like, do they own the content afterwards?
I think they just
in this, put it this way,
licensing it.
in this new world, sharing is not a thing. I'm sorry. Like ever since Disney Plus just absorbed Fox and Marvel, these streaming services
It's mine now.
sharing things is not a thing. There's there's Paramount Plus now. They got all SpongeBob. Hey, you want The Office on Netflix? Fuck you, Paramount Plus.
Buying,
So
IPs.
so again,
I don't think Netflix is doing that though. I think they're leasing the content.
What I'm saying is I
licensing.
don't see the. What I'm saying is I'm still yet to hear blank adaptation coming exclusively to Sony's new service.
Right. I have a hot take. I think they're going to cancel that service.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I mean,
There's no value in it now.
Like the longer they wait, the more we're seeing these other licensing deals. Because I mean, it's to me, it's unavoidable as far as for this wave, right? Obviously, people are watching these things.
yeah.
It's making money. We're going to keep seeing them. I heard something about Red Dead Redemption as well. You know that makes something so Fallout. This is not going to stop. So the more that this happens, it's like, what is this supposed service that we're trying to do? I think they're going to cancel it. Or if it's going to come out, it's going to be shitty and they're going to cancel it.
Yeah, I think they should. I mean, like, it's just too much. I understand the temptation because they have like back catalog, like what's Stride and see what happens.
Right.
But like, who really has like Discovery Plus or like Paramount? Like at this, I mean, like who?
Halo's done. I canceled mine.
I got it for Halo. Still
Same.
did not watch it after like they revealed like Master Chief's like face in the first
episode
episode.
1.
Yeah, it was just over. And I'm like, okay, 25 years, you guys are like,
Wait,
yeah, let's just rip this Band-Aid off as quick as possible. I was like, okay, thank you.
You mean you didn't see, you know,
No, I didn't
the
want-
famous part of the Halo game where he has sex with that human alien? Like, what the fuck?
I mean, of course, I've seen that.
Charlie Murphy?
Charlie Murphy. I love that her name's Charlie Murphy.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I forgot. Yeah.
Charlie Murphy makes you forget everything, man.
No. Oh, this is what I was going to say. Sorry. Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. Thank you. I was going to say I know the one thing that they have that should not be connected to this supposed service that they have coming out is we talked about this as far as like with the purchase with Destiny, right? And then Bungie was like saying consistently, like, we're still gonna make games our way, they don't own us, ma. But like one of the purchases within that, what was it, $4 billion or some bullshit?
So they were very public. Are you talking about how they wanted to go beyond gaming and make entertainment? Like they were very public. Like why'd you pay so much for the Destiny? We're not gonna make games with these fuckers. They were very public about that. Like games, no. So they're very public. They quote want to go beyond gaming into entertainment with Destiny.
So movie motion.
So if you're expecting like, I mean, I'm not saying Destiny 3 won't happen. I'm just saying they're very public of why they bought them.
Yeah.
Well, no, they bought them for their multiplayer service, and like, am I not mistaken? Like Sony wanted because they paid retention period for the development team as part of the deal, so they want to make games, right? And because the whole motto is like multiplayer games for the next years. But Bungie also wanted the connection to go into entertainment. I think it's like the inverse. Am I mistaken on that?
Because the one,
maybe you're right.
Because the interview, because the interview that we read that kind of like quote unquote made waves was somebody on the Sony side. Okay. Now they didn't say that was they didn't. Now you may be right. They didn't say that was at the request of Bungie.
Yeah.
But the Sony, again that was again just on face value a Sony person saying, hey, we want to go beyond gaming with Destiny.
Yep.
And I'm like, you paid. I was like, man, Lucas sold Star Wars for $7 billion. You paid $4 billion for Destiny.
Fuck. A Destiny TV show would be amazing. Like if it's a prequel to like D1 and D2. Like as a side, it would be really good. It'll be good as long as they hire no one involved in the voice acting of Destiny 1. Peter Dinklage as that robot was. Why the fuck did he exist? You remember Destiny 1? I mean, he might come back because like he it's a TV show.
What else is he doing? Yeah.
Like he may that robot may actually be alive in the prequel series. I'm just joking.
Dude, that was the most. If people ever want an example of a phoned in fucking performance on gaming or any voice acting I have ever fucking seen, the fucking robot from Destiny 1. All it was like talking during a loading screen. Oh my god, you're dead. Wow, that guy's big. We should run. Hey, do you think he has a sister? Like
it wasn't memorable.
It was bad. It was memorable for being bad. It was so bad.
I forgot that he was in it. They replaced him quick.
It was so bad. It was that Peter Dinklage phoned that shit in. It was so bad. And I'm like, to a point, like we don't know. None of us arguably have hands-on voice actor work, but I assume there's more than one take. So it's like either A,
music stuff, and
either
one take.
Either A, that shit they just all didn't want to take, or B, they just like, oh wow, we did this shit 16 times. Let's do that one.
We already paid him.
Wow. Oh, that's a big gun. If you press right trigger, you fire it. I'm like, God, that was like it was so bad. It's so again. So if they make a Destiny show, the first thing I heard is like Peter Dinklage.
Yeah.
Ding ding ding. I'm not saying I've seen this before, but again. I was there, man. I will say this: Destiny 1 was the prettiest game I owned by far at the time. God, that I hate the story, or like not the story, like the lack. There was no story. There was no story.
Yeah.
The story was just the robot talking during the loading screen.
It wasn't a forefront
Destiny
for the
recently
game.
Got story, bro. It's okay. Like even in D2, like I get the Witcher Queen. They finally got the story going. So
yeah.
The last thing on the show here. I was going to merely get your guys' thoughts about the Game Awards coming up this year, set for December 8th. I know you're talking about, Arthur, the new category. Best Adaptation Award, which is interesting. It says here in quote, says the Best Adaptation Award is a way for the gaming industry and its fans to tip its hat to creative work that authentically adapts and often adds lore and context to our favorite gaming franchises, says the Game Awards creator and executive producer Jeff Keighley. With so many game-inspired projects across entertainment, the time is right to honor excellence in adapting video game worlds to other mediums, end quote. Arthur, lay it on me. What are your
Sonic 2? Dude, when Sonic, when you're like getting all serious, gotta go fast. Like, dude, okay. So like, Gerald and I had not a whole episode, but like a whole thing about the best and worst adaptations of movies.
Yeah.
Jarrell,
good episode.
I forget on a scale of like 10 to 100. Being 100, how much you love Max Payne, right?
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg is Max Payne, but like
terrible.
This is
terrible
I mean,
fucking film.
like any gamer at some point has had the conversation with their friends of what video game movie sucks, what video game movie is amazing, what show was good, what show was bad, what animated movie was good. Like for example, like when it comes to animated movies, I love the Dead Space animated movies. They're terrifying and gory as shit, but that's the game. I still say for me like one of the best video game adaptation, won't go too much, is like Silent Hill. But what I'm saying is now that there's a category for this argument we've all had with our friends, I'm here for it. And plus I was telling Church, this kind of adds some form. It's not the Oscars, not the Golden Globes, but it adds some form of legitimacy to having some kind of possible maybe incentive to stop making shit adaptations. I mean, like Church, Halo is arguably the founding game of fucking Microsoft. You didn't make it to episode 2. Like
Nope.
you didn't make it like
That speaks volumes.
Drell and I
Gamers didn't make an episode.
No, dude. I'll be,
Like, we all know Master Chief.
Drell, let's be honest. If it wasn't for us having to talk about it or having something said to talk about on the show, I didn't want to watch. I mean, I skipped you and I both skipped multiple episodes.
Like 4 episodes.
Okay, here's a fun story. We skipped multiple episodes, binged them to catch up to talk about the episode, and then forgot about it. We forgot to fucking talk about it.
Yeah.
So we binged like 3 episodes in a day that quote unquote catch up to what episode 6 or 7 at the time because the season finale was coming, and we were both like, man,
That's 2 episodes.
those suck.
I'm like mentioning it.
Like those, like we had a binge to catch up. Like those sucked.
Yeah.
And then, but again, so the fact that there's a new category, because now, I mean, be honest, like now more than ever, we are seeing adaptations. Like we just talked about the fucking Horizon thing, and we talked about Fallout, we talked about Tekken, we talked about Red Dead Redemption. There's potentially the Mortal Kombat 2, the Mortal Kombat 2 HBO movie. Like HBO, Warner Brothers, which as a movie I liked. And I want to give it an A. But I give it a pass. Yeah, I like the new Mortal Kombat movie, and so again, I know this isn't like everyone's gonna fucking stop what they're doing because they won a video game award. But I'm just saying, I'm glad in the right element, which is the video game awards, gamers can now fucking confirm, not confirm, but like almost again like legitimize the adaptations of these things that we hate seeing done bad, like fucking Halo.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm just gonna piggyback off of you a little bit, Arthur. I think adding this category is a great move by Jeff Keighley. Like he has a video game awards, and he needs to. I'm glad he saw the opportunity to own. Like, I'm gonna own the cinema before the Oscar does.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make sure we have that opportunity. Because I think video game adaptations, it's eventually going to get to a point where we're going to get good quality.
Consistently good.
Just like comics had the rough patch, and then we eventually got the MCU, DCU, whatever, right?
Yeah.
Oh, comics, yeah.
Yeah, like...
Oh, I thought about the comic we were talking about before.
No. There was some rough times, man. Batman and Robin. But in terms of this category, my perspective is that... sorry about that.
No worries.
Thanks for apologizing. I was offended by you scratching your eye.
I know.
Selfish. Just
how dare you?
Work through it. Just fucking work through it, dude. It's just your pupil. You have fucking 2.
You, Joe, reading the description of the award where it says add lore to the game makes me know that it's going to be, The Last of Us is going to win it this year.
Fuck.
Unfortunately, it's going to have HBO. It's going to win. I honestly...
They showed a snippet of the footage. Did you see that?
I did. Yeah. I'm not saying I think it's going to be good, but it's a zombie show at the end of the day. I'm just not that excited about a zombie show.
You mean you're not hyped about The Walking Dead season 25?
No, I'm not. We're in the city again.
Or about or something we're all excited for, the two The Walking Dead spinoffs coming.
Oh, bro, we don't need that. So.
I think before you continue your point, I was going to say I think it's going to be more drama than like traditional zombies, because I'm curious about his performance, or both of their how they work together, Ellie and Joel, but in the HBO series. But
I like Pablo. I love him as an actor. He's really phenomenal. He kills it. I want Sonic 2 to act. I think Sonic in recent years is one of the best video game adaptations ever. I loved it so much. It had so much fan service. It's a kid-ass movie. It's like Ballsy was 2.5 hours for some reason. Like, I don't know why for a kid's movie, but it is like, no, we're going deep.
There's one major reason why it needs to win.
Bro,
if anything,
it had a Sonic Heroes moment.
So many things. There's also one thing that surprisingly this movie can say. So as far as we know now, unless it changes, surprisingly, Sonic 2, Jim Carrey's last movie.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know how
Christopher Nolan does something.
I don't know how that might happen, but I know this for a lot of animes and games. I like the number 2 guy. When it comes to Dragon Ball Z, I'm Team Vegeta. When it comes to Sonic, I'm Team Knuckles. And they put so much legitimacy. They put respect on his name.
They did.
Like Idris Elba, that trailer.
Bro.
That trailer. You'll never get my power.
I need your power.
Who said I need your power?
I know, man.
Like, let's fucking go.
We all questioned him as the voice actor too. We did when we first.
I was like, Idris Elba. Like, I'm like, I'll be honest. Like, okay, a lot of people question him.
Man.
A lot of
Idris Elba.
I've seen The Wire.
I've seen The Wire. I've seen The Wire. I was like, I've seen The Wire. There's not going to be one single stupid in there, bruv. Like, there's not going to be one like just thing. But I've seen The Wire. So when he got casted as Knuckles, and like I said, that one trailer, it's like, you'll never catch me, you'll never take my power. Just calmly just catching this motherfucker.
Yeah.
Who says I need your power? Like, I was in. I'm all in.
You're in at that.
And then they did the characters right. Like they did the whole like Sonic Knuckles like rivalry thing. The Tails thing. There was a few sequences that kind of took me away. That reminded me, that's right, this movie's for kids.
Yeah.
There was two scenes. There was I think if you name them, they both involve, like, one involves dancing. Yeah. But again, I love that movie.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic, and I think they knocked it out of the park. I don't know. I think my top video game adaptations is Warcraft. I don't think you guys have ever seen Warcraft.
We haven't seen that yet. I want to see it.
Warcraft is like really good.
Okay.
And then after that, I think the most accurate and true to the video game, believe it or not, is Castlevania. The show. It's like, it's really accurate to the video games and the lore of that series.
It was a damn good show.
It's a damn good show, right? Yeah, and it's going on. So
nice.
They're kind of killing it over there. But I'm happy for this category. That's like my opinion on it, man. Like, for it. Do they have the nominees this year for it?
Not yet. We will have an episode on that.
I'm also happy. I'm also happy that good or bad, that game adaptations are so popular, we can afford a category.
Yeah,
it was like that shit was like
there's enough movies for a category.
Dude, it was like that shit was like a full moon, man.
Yeah.
It was like how often a game thing was getting announced. That shit was like a full moon of like every so often. Now it's like Netflix had Geek Week or Gaming Week alone by itself.
Yeah.
Again, we have a lot of contenders coming down the road with major sources from from the shows, at least. We mentioned Fallout. Horizon. Yeah. I remember there's another movie we forgot about. Borderlands. Borderlands is coming.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Kevin Hart. Yeah,
right.
Kevin Hart.
That's right.
Kevin Hart and other people who I forget. That's coming.
See what happens. Well, wrapping up here right on time here at the Games for Life podcast. Arthur, it's been pleasure potting with you in person. I know we'll do it again soon.
Leaving.
And Church, always a pleasure having you on the show, man. You bring so much great energy to the pod, man. Appreciate you. Well, that's going to wrap it up here, folks, for the Games for Life podcast, each and every Friday/Saturday, discussing all things games. I'm one of your hosts, Jarrell. With me is my co-host, Arthur Thomas.
That's me.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good rest of your week.
Bye.